Just gonna encourage him to shoot 100,000 more shots.
That part is what it is.
Hey, turn your microphone on. We are now streaming. We are live. Y'all know how it is while we get ready for everything. Yes, sir, ladies and gentlemen. Let y'all file on in. Shout it, file on in. I'm about to light this pod on fire today. I got some things to say about the Colts.
Big man.
I got some things to say about the Colts. Man, just I might need to look that up right now. I might need to look up the Rooney Rule right now so I can make sure I speak correctly, because I don't know if this applies to if a team lost a minority executive or coach to another team, that team would receive third-round compensatory pick for 2 years. If team lost both a coach and personnel member, it would receive a third round. I ain't reading nothing that says the Rooney Rule is dealing with interim head coaches, but we gonna get to that because the Colts just
it's not the interim part.
No, it is the interim. That's for me. That's my point. We'll talk about it. But I'm also gonna talk about this Kyrie stuff, and I'm gonna talk about everybody. I'm gonna talk about the league going crazy, and punishing Kyrie. I'm going to talk about the stupidity of Kyrie for not knowing some things that you should have known. I'm going to address us, black folks, the culture. I'm going to address us for the ones that are persecuting other athletes for not standing with Kyrie in this time. I'm going to let y'all have it too, because y'all aren't looking at the picture. Y'all aren't looking at the expanded picture. Y'all looking at it from just you. Because you're only responsible for just you and a few people. You're not responsible for a whole lot. And that's no shade. It's just sometimes you got to look out for self, because self is responsible for a lot of other selves. And I'll get to that as well. But y'all know how it is, man. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. I had to get that off my chest. I'm riled up, ready to go. I done did my little homework. I got notes. I got my phone up. The only thing I didn't do was watch the movie.
Then kicked in.
I didn't take pre-workout. That's how ready I was. I'm positive. I had a post-workout, but not a pre-workout. But y'all know how it is, ladies and gentlemen. It's episode 77 of the Splash Cast Monday Night Raw, where we go live. We actually go live a couple times a week now. Oh yes, Josh. I got my Cliff. Shout out to Josh. Tuned in. Got my Cliff notes ready. I'm gonna run this song back. This is one of my favorite songs. Oh, this Coco Jones is tough too, though. This Coco Jones is
It's
tough
a solid
too,
24. I'm happy about this one.
He got a Kelly Price. Okay, we gonna play that.
Oh yeah, Gangsta Gibbs did not disappoint.
So, ladies and gentlemen, y'all know with the pregame we have a few things that we talk about. Some things that I didn't do the stuff. Listen, with the pregame, we also getting the show ready for the regular show. So if y'all see some stuff that y'all ain't supposed to see, y'all just go with it. Cool.
Yeah, come on in, relax. We vibing right now. This homeroom.
I like that. This is definitely homeroom.
Yeah.
No, I don't want Spotify. I want.
Yeah. Gangsta Gibbs with this album. Once again, if you listen to Alfredo, you knew how good Alfredo was. I don't know if this is quite Alfredo level, but he does not disappoint, and he grows what he does.
Alfredo was a really, really good. Really good.
Should have won a Grammy.
That was his. Wasn't it his breakthrough?
That's the one that should have won a Grammy. I'm not gonna say anything other than should have won a Grammy.
Oh, that's a foul. Well, the Hawks getting smacked, but that's a foul though. Let's turn this off now that I got this fixed. Y'all know how it is, man. With this the pregame, we talk about a few things. What we talking about first? Hey. Oh man, you put Bubba Wallace ain't no more
Reggie.
What's that? Oh yeah. All right, let me pause this. So, hey man, the World Series is over. The asterisks. The Asterisks won the World Series. They dominated baseball this year from beginning to end with no trash can. They did not Doug Funny it this year. But
allegedly.
No, they didn't. There was no banging on the trash can. No drumming on the moon.
Allegedly, there was no improprieties that we have caught yet.
The world keeps calling me. Yeah, that's fun. You don't remember Doug Funny? Banging on a trash can. You missed that. That went straight over your head. Drumming on a street light.
How did you think that was the Doug Funny song that you should recall and not
Banging on a trash can?
Yes.
Banging on a trash can. You said they were.
Boy, yes, I saw the reference, but still. If you're talking about Doug, there's only one song that matters.
Not with regards to this conversation, but I do remember Killer Tofu. Killer Tofu. I remember that too.
Yeah, like that was my jam. I get where you were going, but as soon as you get to Doug Funny music, you gotta cut it and be like, nah, right here, right now.
This sounds like many of your sports takes. Sounds like many of your sports takes. Just wrong.
Well, excellent, fantastic.
Halfway thought through. But shout out to Dusty.
Surely hate.
Truth. Shout out to Dusty Baker, man.
I'm gonna kick your ass today.
You have been losing for a long time.
No, my team, not me. My teams have been right. My teams have been an unfortunate series of events.
Oh, we're gonna get to that too when we talk about Georgia and Tennessee and Florida and Texas A&M and how Florida is in the foul clutch right now. But
we won.
You're right. Shout out to Dusty Baker, man. We stepping on the point of Dusty Baker, a black manager, one who deserves it. For the first time, Dusty Baker is front and center and not the cleanup man. They brought him in here to clean up. He had to go to the Reds to clean up. He had to go to San Francisco to clean up. He had to go everywhere to clean up. And now, after managing over 3,000 games, playing, if you add in his playing career, being a part of baseball for over 5,000 games, you have Dusty Baker, first-time champion. Look at the exuberance.
Former Atlanta Brave Dusty Baker. Make sure we put that on there.
We still world champion 2021.
Yeah.
Everybody else that still got jokes, y'all ain't got none yet. So holla at y'all. You need to go back to last decade before you come at us. Appreciate that.
I'm happy that Dusty won this. I think that he should get more credit because it's not just him as a manager winning. It's him as a manager going into the shittiest situation in baseball and performing.
Shittiest situation, still had one of the best rosters. But I understand what you're saying.
That.
Well, I mean, that makes a big deal.
Because you're not just managing. You have to manage the fact that these people are pissed that they got cheated. One of the things they've been dealing with, especially in the last season early, people getting hit. They're just throwing at people. So, yeah, for you to manage that, to keep your team together and intact, congratulations.
I still want to know the significance. Oh, go ahead.
I don't know of another person who could have done the job.
And I hate reading the comments on this NBA terminology. Carmelo Anthony or Russell Westbrook finally winning a ring. No, that's not the same. Because Dusty Baker's reputation precedes him all throughout baseball.
Yeah.
Dusty Baker didn't ask to go to the Astros. He didn't ask. They hired him. And then right when the teams get pretty good, he was with the Cubs. Right when the teams get a little pretty good, they fire him and bring in, well, y'all know how it goes. It happens in all sports. We'll talk about that in the NFL. But shout out to Dusty Baker getting his first ring. I can't imagine the relief and weight off his shoulders. And a little bit of I told you so in there too.
A lot of bit of I told you so. And I'm retiring right after this. It's been real.
No, you can't retire. Pena, the rookie, just won the MVP. You can't retire.
Hey,
they got the best. They have the best roster in baseball.
I'm baseballed out, man. Y'all can have this job. Y'all can have this. For the rest of my days, I'm chilling. Bring me my trophy. Bring me my ring, and I'll come back when it's time to throw out the first pitch. I'm out of here. Job well done. Now, if he continues to manage, congratulations. But me, I'm out of there. Hey, it's been real.
Look at the
Going out as a
exuberance on
winner.
his face. He's so excited. He's so happy, man.
Yo,
Shout out to Big
deserving.
Dust. Big Dust. Big Dusty
Yeah.
Baker. Hey, man. So, before we get here.
Oh, yo, I put this on here myself.
Yeah, you go.
That's
I'm gonna
it.
let you, cause I put the Carmelo Anthony up there. So I'm gonna lead
Click
that
it,
one.
click
You
it,
lead this
click
mic.
it. Let him explain this first. Before,
Hold on.
He said,
before.
"Hey, we do this deal. There ain't no more running in the back." Like, all right, digging at me, and I'm like,
Off the rip.
Shit. All right, sounds good. Yeah, okay. So I thought that was pretty special. But MJ, man, he's competitive and loves to poke the bear and bet against you, and just to push you, just to motivate you.
Yeah.
And he'll like in the moment he's joking around and hey, I'll bet against you here, but then he'll pull you to the side and he's like, you know what I'm doing, right? And then get results and he'll be like, told you.
Wait. My bad. I had us muted. Okay, go ahead.
Okay, now Mike,
This is my first time ever
Mike.
talking to MJ.
go back to the quote, please. I want to make sure that I have this clear. In ain't no more running in the back. You know what? I failed you here because I don't have the Eastern Conference standings right now for the Charlotte Hornets. Michael Jeffrey Jordan, you and the Charlotte Hornets have been running in the back for so long, you don't even know what the front looks like. You actually never not run in the back as a Charlotte Hornet owner. So I think you need to choose your words very carefully when you talk to me.
Me and Kev are equally immature because the whole time I'm just like pause.
I mean,
That's where I thought this whole segment was going.
No,
That's why I was like, "Hey, Bubba Wallace."
Bubba Wallace, consummate gentleman, excellent human. And Mike, you talking about ain't no running in the back. How about you run that Hornets team into some wins before you talk about anything? And then the little season that you did have, you fired your coach. Now your team's sorry as hell. Hey, Mike, looks like you're pretty good at running in the back, except for one place. You know what? And I'll give you that. You're the greatest basketball player of all time. But everything else, you look like you don't lead the pack, big dog. Need you to have a seat and don't talk to Bubba like that no more.
I give him a little leeway because I don't. I don't know, man. he trying to motivate him.
Motivate the Hornets. Motivate Mason Plumlee. How about that? That's what you do.
Well,
Before you tell
I
somebody-
feel Bubba Wallace is far more superior in talent driving a car than Mason Plumlee has playing basketball. Some things are just a lost cause. So I don't know about that one.
Dang. It's like that sometimes, but Mike, you gotta have a
Bobby
seat.
Portis is destroying us right now.
Always does. He's a whole new human versus the Hawks. He go right to being regular the next game.
But let's get to my story. So shout
And
out
Kevin, you are a child. A whole child.
Shout out to Carmelo Anthony for the launch of Vin 7 Estates. I do not know how to pronounce that. There is something there. But Vin 7 Estates or Vin Estates, his wine line, wine from the Rhone Valley in France. It's now on sale. Shout out to Carmelo Anthony for that. We always champion and support black excellence. Always. I'm trying not
Read
to be
the
messy.
room.
I'm trying not to be messy. But Mellow. I mean, it looks like a very bold, wonderful bottle of wine.
Bold.
Mellow.
This is bold. Bold head ass.
We
You
named this
big
segment
dummy.
called Read the Room because the name of the wine is Oath and Fidelity. Now, he's had a very public relationship with his now ex-wife, Lala. So to name the wine Oath and Fidelity, I think is the biggest troll that you could possibly do as an ex-husband.
Boy.
That is
Oh.
as an ex-husband to name it Oath and Fidelity and have his business partner here a black woman, and to name the wine Oath and Fidelity, I can see Lala like, brother, what? I don't know how to not be messy about this, but it's hilarious. I'm sorry.
You know how sometimes you finna say something and it's just gonna make your lady mad? This is it. I'm going into this to start a fight. I am setting this on fire.
No.
Thing,
this is your new girl doing. This is your new girl encouraging you to do something that will make your old lady mad. That's what this is.
Yo, if you got a new girl, you better leave her where she is, because this oath of fidelity gonna get both of y'all murdered. You took an oath and didn't have no fidelity. That was the problem in the first place.
I could just imagine the neck roll and the anger. Boy, I know it was some cussing going on in Lala.
The audacity of you to use the word fidelity. It's crazy because I didn't even know you knew that word.
Mello, we are going to support. I'm already about to order this.
No, I'm not supporting this.
I'm ordering. I'm supporting black business.
I stand with black women.
He got a black woman partner. Show. He's standing with her too.
Make sure there's some space.
Yeah, that was definitely strategic. I don't know if it was for Lala, but that was definitely strategic.
Hey, make sure that you can see that there's a whole nother tunnel in the back. It's so much space between me and her. No. And I'm standing in front over here by myself, hands folded. I'm safe. I am alone, and I am behaving.
Y'all think they took separate photos and they just photoshopped it together?
Oh, baby, I wasn't even there. I was there, then she was there. We're not even there at the same time.
Nah. But I mean, all jokes aside, man. Shout out to Mello. I am definitely gonna buy a bottle.
Jokes aside, this is the reason you picked this topic, because it's a joke.
It was funny. Because I just couldn't imagine that he would call it Oath and Fidelity. I was like, wow.
That is when you're surely not gonna get back together, and you're just pulling dick moves now. I'd do anything.
Oh yeah, it's almost like the documents were finalized last week, right before this came out, and I was like, you know what?
What? Yep, I got one for you.
All right, we about to put the Hawks on the stream. We about to put the Hawks on the stream because they got Okungwu Garden, and they are just raining threes. So ladies and gentlemen, I don't got nothing else. We've come to the end of the pregame. We talked about Oath and Fidelity, Mike running in the back, and Dusty Baker getting his ring. Most important topic, getting his ring after 3,000 games, even though they gave him a shitty situation and he cleaned it up. With that being said, ladies and gentlemen, we are going to take 30 seconds, maybe a couple minutes, get ready, and we are going to jump right into the Around the League edition of the Splash Cast. We are going to start with, what are we starting with? HBCU news around the culture. Man, a lot of big news coming around. Mississippi Valley State. Wow. Morehouse. Wow. Couple teams getting off the schneid. Y'all make sure y'all stay tuned. We'll be right back. And we are back, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to episode 77 of the Splashcast, the Around the League edition, Monday Night Raw. Got a few things to talk about. I am your co-host, Reggie.
I'm your co-host, Norwood, and I'm ready to get into it, my friend.
Ready to get into it. Let's get into it. Let's get into it. I feel like I don't say that anymore. I got to make sure I get back to it. Wow, Hawks only down by 4. Maybe I should stop watching. Y'all know how it is. We come to the Around the League edition. HBCU news around the culture, news around basketball, both pro and college. Shout out to North Carolina Central playing Virginia today in the preseason. That is a good game, upset special. And football as well. News around the NFL, around the NFL and college football. And you know we about to spend some time because when it comes to college football, a lot of haters. A lot of haters.
We are an HBCU. We are
a lot of haters. A lot of haters will be addressed. A lot of haters will be addressed. That guy right there will be addressed here in college football. But here, before we get there, we are now going to get into our HBCU segment.
Thank you. Let's not take any more. No, let's not let Georgia take any more from black people than they already have.
Says the man from Gainesville. Or supports the team from Gainesville. Ooh, I have a joke, but I can't say it.
Yep. Continue. Let's get right here with HBCU. Let's act like you got some sense here, my friend.
I'm gonna say that off. All right, so
no, we're getting right into Virginia Union extending their head coach. That is always what we want to see.
Y'all, this about to be a silly show. It's gonna be serious, but I got all the jokes. Shout out to Virginia Union, though. In all seriousness, Virginia Union is actually extending their head coach through the year 2025. They have won their division in the SIAC? No, CIAA. Right. Sorry, CIAA. Right. They have won their division in CIAA. They defeated their arch rival Virginia State to finish the season. I believe they are 9-1, and they are now awaiting an at-large bid when it comes to the Division II playoffs. They are actually ranked in the top 10 in Division II, and their football coach, I got to make sure I put some respect on his name. Dr. Alvin Parker's contract has been extended for another 3 years through the 2025 season. The announcement comes as the VUU Panthers are currently 8-0. They ended up losing one game, and they finished 9-1, and they are now going to the probably an at-large bid into the playoffs. He is 29-9 and 22-5 in the CIAA in his tenure there.
Jesus. Yeah, probably bring that guy back. Find a way.
Yeah, he's been in CIAA for 24 years. He was named Virginia Union's head coach in as 27th head coach in December 2017. So he's put together a wonderful tenure at Virginia Union, and that dominance probably ain't gonna stop anytime soon. What else we got? We got some good news. Hey, HBCUs are international. The University of the Virgin Islands is set to become a member of the Gulf Coast Athletic Conference in 2023.
Jesus, Taysom Hill just destroyed a human. Oh Lord. But also, I didn't gonna be very transparent. Doing the research, did not know that the University of Virgin Islands was an HBCU at all. So the more you know, I definitely learned something. And yeah, they're going into the Gulf Coast in 2023.
Yes, they are. If I'm an athlete, I am seriously looking at the University of Virgin Islands. Can you imagine going to football practice there and living there?
No, I could not. I would like to graduate from college, and I think the Virgin Islands is probably not going to help me do that.
I'm becoming the athletic director. They'd be like, "Oh, Reggie played there, coached there, was a grad assistant there."
Lifetime commitment, lifelong learning.
Lifetime commitment. So Shout out to the University of Virgin Islands. Seriously, that is a big deal, man. As everybody knows, football is trying to expand. You already have the University of Hawaii. I think that is the only offshore non-continental college football team. So to have the University of Virgin Islands be the second one is pretty good.
And I'm sure you could probably figure out a way to make that work. Hey, fellas, let's all go to the Virgin Islands and we'll just play basketball and do some schoolwork every now and then.
Basketball and football. Yeah. Yeah.
That's a program I can sell.
I definitely could, man. I definitely could. Hey, for y'all that don't know, we are an Atlanta-based podcast. We talk about Atlanta sports as well as everybody else. Morehouse, 0-9 Morehouse got their first win of the season, defeating Clark Atlanta, their rival, their arch nemesis, 20-17. I got music playing. My bad, y'all. 20-17 to not go defeated this season. Look at the joy and exuberance. They rushed the field. I don't think I ever seen HBCU rush the field.
It's so bad because what you're rushing the field on is we literally won one game. But
hey, the Lions cried and did the same thing when they went 0-16 and then won the game, or 0-20 and won the game too. You don't remember Jeff Saturday, who I'm gonna keep talking about it. Jeff Saturday ran off the field crying. You don't remember that when they went 0-16? He's head coach now though.
That's what I'm waiting on. This is a pod different than the rest of the pods. Most of the time I feel like I'm a part of the pod. No, I'm sitting here with y'all waiting on the explosion. So yeah, when y'all get there, buckle up like everybody else. There you go. But yeah, I mean, you're gonna celebrate it because you won a game and you beat one of your rivals, but you literally won the one game.
If you're gonna win, if you're gonna suck the whole year,
you're right,
and you're gonna win one game, that is the game to win.
Win that one and win it at your place too. You're right. Nothing worse than the one win you have is in a whole different country. You're like, bro, I don't even have nobody to celebrate this little piece of win. All right, fellas, let's go home. No, nobody there. Nothing.
And they just had homecoming last week. You know it's been lit at Morehouse for 2 weeks straight.
Man, you lost homecoming too, boy. Gee.
In the MEAC, we don't really have any MEAC graphics because I don't understand why they don't post them. So we're just gonna talk about them. North Carolina Central played Howard for first. I think Howard was first place in the MEAC, and North Carolina Central was second place. The winner of that game would be first place in the MEAC. We should have known what was going to happen when North Carolina Central decided to play Howard on their homecoming. We should have known what was going to happen. We should have known what was going to happen when North Carolina Central was being disrespected after they lost. They were upset. They played
wrong place, wrong time.
They played Howard and beat Howard 52-21, I believe was the score.
That is fine with me.
Howard was riding high. They were number one in the MEAC. Nope.
Now they feeling low. Feeling low.
Smacked. And it looks like Central will represent the MEAC in the Celebration Bowl this year if they don't go to the playoffs.
I can tell you who wasn't celebrating. Boys got a mud hole stomped in them out there.
Howard, yeah. Howard lost. Man, Giannis is he's unfair. Let's get to the Black SEC, aka the SWAC. Speaking of teams that got their first win of the season, Mississippi Valley State is the forgotten school, the forgotten HBCU athletically in Mississippi. They come from a proud, long, strong tradition when it comes to football, including arguably the greatest receiver of all time. To come
greatest
from that
football
school.
Player of all time.
I was going to say arguably greatest football player, the greatest receiver of all time.
Put him in
Jerry
that
Rice.
conversation.
Jerry Rice came from Mississippi Valley State. Mississippi Valley State. If you don't know about Jerry Rice in the 80s, it's going to be, I know some of y'all young. Some of y'all old enough to remember. Go back and just YouTube Jerry Rice high school. College highlights. Jerry Rice and Mississippi Valley State was insane. They Willie Totten and all them Totten Stadium, they threw the ball. They were the ones that started the 5 wide receiver, just throw it around the whole field team. That was them. Mississippi Valley State has been 0 forever in the SWAC, and
we've been rooting for them all season too. Just winners won, man.
And Dion quietly has root for him because he wants to see all schools elevate. Of course, you already got Alcorn State, you got Jackson State, but Mississippi Valley State beat Alabama A&M. Talk about life coming at you fast, Alabama A&M.
Boy, been a rough 2 weeks.
Mississippi Valley State played really, really well. Funny story, their head coach is a Jackson State alum. So they played, it was their first win of the season, first win against Alabama A&M since 2015. They are on I feel like they're on their way to improvement because they played a few games that were close. It's not like they've been getting blown out. They just couldn't get over the hump. But he's got them buying in down there, man. And they won 30-20. And I watched this game, and they led the whole game. I'm happy
game. Grambling got their win, and I'm happy Mississippi Valley State got their win. You know, at the end of the day, we want to see all these programs grow and do better. And if you don't win any games, it's very difficult, if not impossible, to do that. So, yeah, at least, take this going into the offseason, try to build here into something.
Definitely. And finally, other scores in the SWAC. Jackson State stomped a mud hole in Texas Southern, which we saw.
Knew that was going to happen.
You knew it was going to happen. Jackson State is really leaps and bounds ahead of everybody else right now. The thing that impresses me about Jackson State is they beat you literally in every way. If they can't throw the ball, they may throw the ball 500 yards. Then they may run the ball for 250 yards. Then they really may not do nothing on offense, and the defense might just stop you. So they are pretty good, man.
And I saw Travis Hunter playing wide receiver, and he put a little move on somebody I hadn't seen before.
Travis Hunter is silly. Seeing him in person,
real deal.
He is silly. Other scores: Southern.
Told y'all.
Southern.
I told y'all.
Went down there to Tallahassee and they got to make a quarterback change. I normally don't call for the black quarterback, but the black quarterback's backed up by a black quarterback at a black school, so I can call out the black quarterback. McCray, your time might be up. They need to switch you to slot. You need to be, who he needs to study? He needs to study, what's the dude for the Patriots that went to Kent State that played receiver? He's in the commercial.
Wes Welker.
No, after him. He's in the same vein as Wes Welker.
Danny Amendola.
No, after him. He's the one that made the catch against the Falcons. He just retired. He just retired.
Whatever it is, those guys have to be around Tom Brady. So if you can tell a guy and figure out how to coach a guy into playing with Tom Brady.
Julian Edelman.
Same guy.
McCray needs to go study Julian Edelman. McCray needs to go study Julian and be a slot receiver because he is not a good quarterback. It's hard. You can't do it. They need to get somebody else. He was missing throws. I watched the whole game. It was bad. He's scary. He needs to go be a slot receiver. Alabama State rebounded from the disappointing loss beat Alabama A&M last week. Kept it going, beat a struggling Bethune-Cookman team 37-22. And Grambling.
Homecoming.
2
in a row, baby.
2 in a row. We told y'all going to be in trouble. Hey, Southern. Bayou Classic is in 3 weeks. Y'all better get it together because Grambling look like they coming in on a roll.
Scoring points too, boy. That's a lot of points in 2 weeks. Let me tell you.
They scored like 80-something points in 2 weeks.
Yeah.
What's not gonna happen is Southern. If y'all don't get it together,
team, and y'all, yeah.
And we gotta play them in for the Bayou Classic in New Orleans. You know they about to take all the sensu beans. They about to beat the hell out of them.
Wait, did the offensive lineman just strip Lamar Jackson, him dribble the ball, and then almost throw a touchdown?
Yes.
Yeah. That's unbelievable.
Lamar Jackson.
When did we get him to the Hawks? I mean, to the Falcons.
Either one. He could do something on the Hawks.
Shit, you right. Especially Trey hurt tonight. We need somebody to pass the ball.
But yeah, ladies and gentlemen, all in all, man, college HBCU news around the culture, man. There's a lot of good going on, man. We had, like we said, we had the University of Virgin Islands playing well. You also had Virginia Union extending their coach. Morehouse getting their first win with Mississippi Valley State. And the SWAC, they're playing well, man. MEAC, we told y'all, North Carolina Central and Howard. Looks like Central's going to represent themselves and represent the MEAC in the Celebration Bowl. We are now looking forward to the SWAC championship that looks like it's going to be Prairie View A&M versus Jackson State for the SWAC championship, which is an interesting take. Why is this interesting? And then we'll leave it there at that. Southern's coach, Dooley, left Prairie View and came to Southern. The coach that didn't come with him from Prairie View stayed. Bubba McDowell, former Houston Oiler, stayed. And now they are going to win the SWAC West. It represents.
Well, Bub said, no, I got something good here. I stay right here.
Yeah.
Be safe now, but I made this a home. Feel like I'm going to stay here for a little bit.
Yep.
Winning on your ass.
Yes, sir. But with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, we've come to the end of the HBCU segment. We about to talk about to move on to basketball. We're going to talk about the KD murder scene, of course. Is Ime Udoka really going to the Nets? And then we're going to talk about the biggest surprises, early season surprises, early season MVP leaders. And then we're going to really discuss this Kyrie thing in depth. Because I got a few questions that need some answering from some people before I pass judgment on anything.
Always remember oath and fidelity. Splashcast commercial. Have you ever had your oath and fidelity?
I'll let you know right now. Seems like we have come up with the name of the episode, Oath and Fidelity.
Yeah.
Oh, Sneaky, you said, does it taste like Fruity Pebbles? That's
so much infidelity going on right now. Just wait till we get to the coast.
Oh, you have. Can we change the episode art to I'm Udoka?
No.
Oath and Fidelity?
No, hell no, man. We're not doing that. Support black men, even though they didn't got caught.
We'll be right back, y'all. I ain't got nothing else to say. I'm going to get in trouble. We'll be back. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we are back. We are back with episode 77 of the Splashcast, the Around the League edition, Monday Night Raw. We just finished up the pregame and our HBCU news around the culture segment. Appreciate everybody tuning in with us today. We are now going to get here with our basketball segment. Got a few things what we talking about today, Nora? We got a few things. Where you want to start? You let me know.
Talking about the Nets, yo. You know what we doing. Talk about the Nets, a little bit of Luka, more Nets, and then we'll laugh at all these clowns at the end.
Okay,
Go ahead.
let's start out with the Nets. Let's start out with the good. Let's start out with the good with the Nets, Shawty. So the Nets, KD, yes, this is a dead body. I can't.
No. So what y'all got to see is y'all see Kevin Durant shooting famous jump shot, never misses. He 8.5 feet tall. What I want you to see, if you look very closely,
Damn, you should
is
answer that on
human.
air.
No. I want you to see that human on the floor contemplating life, thinking about all the places that he has gone wrong. This is a TikTok. That thing where it goes, do-do-do-do-do-do-do. I bet you wonder how
I ended up here.
Boy, just think about that. First of all, Kevin Durant, he's going to make this shot. You are on the floor. You know at this very moment, if there's a human that knows you, they are reaching out to you on various mediums. You got to get a whole new phone. It is nothing I can do with this. You got to get a whole new life. Because you come back. Oh, touch earth.
Oh, my God.
You know what the worst part about it is? Well, the best part is they didn't get at least your bench. Because your bench be worse. Like, why
Your bench be like, your bench don't want to say, ooh, they just be like.
And your coach is like, you better shut up.
Nah, the coach just turn around and start walking down the court. Like, all right. Let's get there. All right. Run a three. ISO, go right back at him.
You better go home. Lay on down. Take you a nap. Things are not going your way. I would say you lay down, but there you are on the floor already. Taking a
Boy, you already well rested. Oh, look at that. He ended up there. Look at that.
Dude,
that is a perfect photo. That is a perfect photo. Now that y'all know what happened.
Here.
I'd write a book. I bet y'all. What is it like playing Kevin Durant?
Wrote a book right down there on that ground.
That boy said,
"Ah!" You evil for that. But the worst part is, then you got to get up with an attitude and tell the Towel boys, "Hey man, the floor wet."
Oh, Kevin! Why did that comment come up so late? Oh my God, I'm sorry. That is disrespectfully funny.
That is highly inappropriate. We should not talk about that man's. I don't know if that is his wife or not. And Kevin Garnett says he never said that.
Kevin Garnett also says he didn't call. It's multiple things. They said Charlie Villanueva. He called Charlie Villanueva a cancer patient, but he says he never said that either. Like, come on, man. Don't laugh. Look at you. Jesus is on your shoulder.
I believe he said that. I would not laugh at that, but I do believe that Kevin Durant would say something like that.
Kevin Garnett.
Kevin Garnett. But yes, correct. I mean,
wow, I can't believe you said that. Honey Nut Cheerios. That is wild crazy. back to KD. Back to the show.
If there's ever a time to get on the internet and write a review, that is the one to write.
Yep. It is. Where are we going from here? We're not going to the Nets.
To hell?
Man, I don't. I mean, it's really not a lot to. Damn, Adam Silver, like it ain't nothing but. Hey, so we're here. Let's
Nothing
do
but
this.
Nets.
Nothing but Nets, boy. Let's talk about this right now. Luka has started the season off 7 straight 30-point games. I don't think anybody else has done that since like 1962, 63. Wilt Chamberlain. Luka is on a tear right now. Is he your early season MVP leader? If not, who?
Giannis.
Giannis is so dominant.
Giannis is the best basketball player in the NBA right now. Everybody else, y'all can play all the good basketball y'all want to. I'm watching him do it on 14 points on us tonight, and it ain't even halftime yet. And we're playing good. Not that good.
Giannis
he's unstoppable. And Luka's The thing is, Giannis plays really good defense too. But Luka is unstoppable, and it looks stoppable.
Yeah.
Everything
Like
looks
Giannis,
stoppable.
everything Giannis does, for the most part, is God given. Right? He's 6'11". He's really 7 feet. He's 7 feet. God given. He can run the length of the court in 5 strides. God given. He can jump out of the gym. God given. He had the frame to add 60 pounds to his body without losing anything else. God given. All of that. Luka looked like the YMCA dude. He looked like this is gonna be a racy episode. So I'm saying he looked like White Man Can't Jump. Y'all remember White Man Can't Jump when he was with Wesley Snipes and that white dude and they thought he was unathletic.
Jump, but he can shoot.
But he
can
shoot
dribble,
and he did
he
everything
can
else.
pass, he can rebound. He can do everything on that court better than everybody else.
At the most minimalist of pace. Look at that. There's nothing you can do. That's just footwork. Look at you.
And just nothing that's wowing you. Like how is he? He just plays basketball in slow motion.
This
And
lends
y'all
credence
can't
though.
stop that shit.
They say that European basketball is harder than NBA basketball.
He said that.
He said it. Giannis said it. Powell said it. It's been said more than once.
But the rules are different. That's the reason he says it is more difficult.
Yeah.
The rules do make it more difficult to score. The NBA is marketing scoring, so they make it easy to score. And you just empowering him. You are, jeez, boy, ain't nothing y'all can do every night. And everybody is giving him their best effort, not trying not to get cooked, and still getting cooked. Seven nights, 30 pieces every night. Jeez.
Yeah, he's
Think
crazy.
about how
man.
many good basketball players in the NBA cannot do that.
But there's one person that can. Just he can do everything that Luka can do minus the shooting. But Luka can do everything he can do minus the defense. It's Giannis.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. But you're right. It's just so much more God-given talent with Giannis. Luka is just like he is the epitome of skill. All
Right
I really
now.
need to do is be tall enough. He's not in. I mean, he's in better shape, but he's still not in anybody's type of shape now. And he is
No.
putting on a clear difference.
Yeah. I also wanted to say all of that. Giannis is averaging 32 points, 13 rebounds, and 6 assists.
And
33
how many is
points.
Luka averaging? Luka might be beating him. Damn.
No, I don't think Luka's Luka is
That's
averaging. Luka's averaging
is-
36 points, 9 assists, 9 rebounds on 65% shooting. Wow.
It's no way that if you look at Luka, you look at Giannis, you would think that their production will be anywhere near each other until you see it on the floor. Then you're like, well, damn. Yo, I can't.
Jesus. Unfortunately, the Mavs won't win the championship this year. I think Giannis has a better team around him, and that's it. That's the only reason.
I told you that Mavericks team is not good. It's Luka.
Jesus, look at him, dog.
You gonna play somebody tonight and tear their ass up too, boy.
Yeah,
And then
it's
go
almost
home and
becoming
drink 2
inevitable.
beers.
All right, man.
That's
So
the other part. You know he going home. He gonna have either a couple glasses of wine or he gonna get him 2 Guinnesses before he lay down.
I feel like
He
Luka
kicked your
smoked
ass
cigarettes
all
before
night.
games. I feel like he smoked cigarettes before games. That's what Luka looked like. He smoked cigarettes before games, and he'll beat your ass on the court and then go have a square at the
Show
end
up
of the
in a
game.
Monty t-shirt, smoke a cig, drink a glass of wine, and beat your ass.
Beat your butt, bruh. And,
Hey,
and-
my American friend.
my
you
friend,
ready
my
to play?
American friend, my negro.
Call me that again. Don't you call me nothing again. I'm out here playing I'm fighting for my life.
All
The
right,
only
man.
person I've seen really give him a hard time. No, shout out to DeAndre Hunter.
DeAndre
Turn
Hunter.
red.
Yeah, DeAndre Hunter. That's about it. All right. Here we go. Let's get with the Nets. All right. The Nets are looking to hire I am Udoka. It seemed like it was a done deal. The owner
Told
has
y'all, stop believing that just because.
The owner of the Nets has been asked, or what is it when somebody's trying to persuade you? Has been urged to reconsider hiring Ime Udoka.
Which I told y'all that from step one. Number one, Udoka, if there is no logical reason to leave what you would assume to be is the Celtics job next year for this Nets job. If you don't believe me, call Steve Nash. Talk to him 15 minutes. Tell me how you feel.
Steve Nash never should have been the coach, though.
But let me tell you, unless Jesus of Nazareth is coming down to coach this team, it ain't no hope. Kyrie is still Kyrieing, which we're going to get to. And the team sucks. And Ben Simmons is hurt again, wearing Persian rugs. So there's
still don't know how he got hurt the first time.
I am going to leave Jason Tatum, Jaylen Brown, Derek White, Malcolm Brogdon, and eventually Robert Williams, and hell, even Al Horford right now. It's no way I'm leaving that to go deal with this problem, unless you're telling me there's no way I can come back to get my job, which is confusing because of what Marcus Smart said.
From what we know, we're told it was just a suspension. We didn't know he was leaving to go coach somebody else. We thought they just suspended him for the year and he'd be back. I think it left a lot of people just like, what the hell is going on here? I don't blame Udoka for that. I blame the organization. The organization. You did that. Like they said that they were going to suspend him for a year. The Nets made the play. The Nets made the Aaron Rodgers Denver Broncos play. We're going to fire our coach, and we are going to hope to get this coach in hopes of getting somebody better. And obviously, and Steve Nash didn't help him anyway. I think a lot of people think it was inevitable that Steve Nash was going to get fired anyway.
When you say before Steve has coached the game that we don't need a coach, you've taken all the air out of his sails, minus the championship. So that was I don't think you know anything about Steve Kerr after his coaching debut. I don't know if you know if he can coach or not.
Steve Nash. We know who Steve Kerr can do.
Oh, excuse me. Yes. Steve Nash. You know Steve Kerr coach his ass off. Steve Nash, I don't know what you could say. Is he a good coach or is he a bad coach? I don't think it's just a very bad team. Kevin Durant and Kyrie on there make it a little bit better, but overall this team is terrible, and you still have
knee swelling. I can see why he got hurt with knee swelling because he hasn't played in a year. But the initial back surgery, nobody knows when he got hurt. I'm not saying that he didn't get hurt because he could have played through an injury, but nobody knows.
Knee swelling. You say knee swelling like they don't allow you to play basketball. He can play basketball
with knee swelling. No, that's low. No.
I'm talking about. You said that you don't know how the knee thing. You said you understand how the knee thing can be a problem, bro. When was that back surgery?
That's the back surgery. I don't understand. The knee swelling. I could see like you were playing and your knee swelled up. You got inflammation. I still don't know when he hurt his back. Nobody in the NBA or on the 76ers can talk about or reveal when he actually hurt his back or what the surgery was. They just said he just put on a smock and a little hat and took a picture and said back surgery today, and an hour later it was over. We don't know what happened.
Spinal. They don't
Spinal.
What about
I broke
he
my
never even
back.
had back surgery? They just put him under and just try to hypnotize him.
And it didn't work?
Nope.
All right. Here we go. The Splash Cast has avoided this for 2 weeks, really 2 months, really. Since all of this came out, we have really not talked about this Kyrie Irving anti-Semitism, anti-Semitic Twitter. it has came out that Kyrie Irving is now suspended indefinitely until he apologizes. He has to donate $500,000 to a Jewish cause. He also has to meet with Jewish leaders and have training on hate speech. I'm going to ask a few questions first. What did Kyrie actually say? Because from what I understand, what I've gathered, what I've read, all of this came from a retweet of a movie, correct?
Correct.
Why? I don't understand why he has to apologize. I really am trying to understand how a retweet caused all of this. All of this. This. And when I say this, I'm not saying that retweeting that was right. I'm not saying that if either he was either
and that was my kind of frustration was you're so hell bent on trying to get him to answer this question that you're not really understanding that he's attempting to communicate with you just non-verbally. And
right.
I don't know anybody who's actually seen the movie. That's my other part. Everybody is up in arms. I'm like, all right, so can we confirm that all these messages are in there, or has anybody seen it to confirm it before we do all this talking? And I feel like both parties have done their part to make this much worse than it is. I'm a big proponent of when whatever the headline is shock value, just don't say anything, because everybody wants a response. And I don't think that most of the time people understand that. They think that they want a good response or a bad response. They just want you to respond. And if you don't respond and wait a second, then things will kind of figure themselves out.
So, Sneaky, thank you. Sneaky typed, for those that are listening, I think the media is bullying Kyrie at this point. I want to know why Kyrie's fine is $500,000 for not saying anything, but Myers Leonard was $50,000 for being caught on tape saying an anti-Semitic slur.
That is like the domestic violence suspensions. At one point, they were a lot less. It's a different time period. Now they're moving to they're going to be a lot more. And if that's why I may not agree with suspension.
I don't understand the correlation of that.
There was a point in the NFL where domestic violence, would be like a game or whatever, and then you'd come back. Now they're taking these things a lot more seriously.
You're just talking about the time period, so it's just time frame.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
So hate speech is in a different place, so they're going to treat it differently. I am okay with that, but I once again, a person who believes don't move too fast, just weigh out the consistency. Every time one of these knee-jerk reactions like this happens, there's a follow-up. And then you find yourself in this position where, are you going to be consistent on what you set as the standard, or will you step back and say, maybe I moved too hastily? And I'm assuming, I'm not hoping this or wishing this, but every time something happens. And when it happens, it's going to be very interesting what the standard is at that point.
That sounds well and good. I think Kyrie's being bullied. I think Kyrie is being bullied for his platform. I think if it wasn't Kyrie, I don't think all of this would have happened. Now, the NBA does have now they are not being unfair in that they punish anybody that does racist remarks. They got somebody whole team. With push from the league, but they've gotten everybody. They've done that before. But what I'm saying is, I think Kyrie, for a retweet, is being bullied for his platform, for him being Kyrie, versus more of. And I also think. Let me say this. I think Kyrie's punishment and what he has to say in his indefinite suspension is more of a culmination of everything that's happened with Kyrie around the last 2 years. I think this is the more of, You know how the feds, when in mob movies, when they say, "Oh, we got evidence of this, we got evidence of that, but we can't pin it on the mob boss," and then they see the mob boss, or Frank Lucas, for example, wore the fur coat to the fight, and it was like, that's got to be him, and gotcha. This is a gotcha moment. The NBA gotcha. You doing all of this stuff to disparage the NBA shield, and now it's like, okay, he tripped himself up by retweeting this, and we are gonna lay it out. We are gonna hit him with a haymaker and everything. I think he's being bullied for being Kyrie Irving. To me, this is what it looks like to me. He's being bullied for being Kyrie Irving.
Let me ask you a question right now.
Yes.
Amazon, NBA, right? Partners.
Mm-hmm.
You go to Amazon right now, all of the NBA stuff is up there, right?
Mm-hmm.
Amazon is distributor of this book, right?
Mm-hmm.
So they will be the person who's actually literally sending out the hate speech. Do you think that the NBA is going to sever their ties with Amazon?
No.
But aren't they the person who provides the platform for what Kyrie Irving retweeted?
Yep.
And if there was no Amazon, there would be no retweet, right?
If there was no Twitter, there would be no tweets.
But do you think at any point the NBA is interested in severing any type of strategic partnerships with Amazon?
Nope. And that, hey, now take this with a grain of salt, what I'm about to say. But this is what other people that have been canceled recently in other facets of entertainment were saying. I'm not saying everything else that they said was right. I know that they're stupid. Some people are stupid, and they do stupid things and say stupid things. They get off their meds, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. But I always say somebody could be stupid for 100 sentences. I mean, for 98 out of 100 sentences, but them 2 sentences gonna make you think. You'll be like, well, damn. Them brain farts of intelligence. Again, the Splashcast is not condoning any racism, any anti-anything. We are all for inclusion. What I am highlighting is that it seems like Kyrie is being bullied because it is a certain demographic. Because the NBA,
I'm not saying that.
I am. The NBA, there have been many times and many retweets of other things. We don't talk about the NFL. The NFL is its own good old boy plantation over there by itself. But when it comes to the NBA, there has really in any sports, there has never been this amount of controversy over a retweet or something that was inferred when it came to us.
I'm okay with all of it as long as it's consistent.
But that's my point. It's not.
The consistency is where I fall off the wagon. You need to sever ties with Amazon.
Mm-hmm.
If Kyrie retweeted something from Amazon and you have an issue with what he retweeted, then you should have an issue with Amazon putting it out.
You should.
But you don't.
And y'all better monitor every tweet and retweet of every NBA player, because there should be repercussions for every questionable tweet that you have. This sets a dangerous precedent, now that I think about it.
I'm not worried about the precedent. I want y'all to have the same consistency when it comes to the money. That always for me.
But that crazy person said, well, the money is in the power, and the money comes from the people in power, and the people in power are flexing their power right now. We can never cancel anybody the way that Kyrie is being canceled right now. We could never cancel anybody like that. Never could.
That ain't my job. I don't even care about canceling people. That's a whole different discussion on a different day. Just keep your consistency. If he is wrong for retweeting what you have deemed as hate speech, and you are more than welcome to, from what I read, it is a terrible movie. I haven't seen it. I do plan to see it so that I can make a true assessment of it myself. But before I see it, if you're mad with him for retweeting it, you should be equally as upset at Amazon for posting it and making it available for sale.
If it's
And I
that
don't think
bad, it
that's
should not
unreasonable.
be. You're right. If it's that bad, it should not be for sale.
You should strike up your own oath and think to yourself that this is a company that I do not want to partner with because they distribute hate speech.
Fair, fair. My final point. I said I
That
was
sounds
gonna,
crazy, right? That sounds crazy.
Yeah, they're not gonna, the
They would
money.
never do that.
The money. My final point. I said I was gonna address the Kyrie stuff. I said I was gonna ask my questions when it came to the Kyrie stuff because I still don't think I don't. It seems like he's being bullied. I told you it seems like he's being bullied for everything. And at this point, they are trying to flex their muscle on Kyrie. My final point, and I'm going to talk to black folks. Stop tearing down other athletes and calling them all types of names, all types of sellouts for not standing with Kyrie. Stop doing that. Stop trying to call out LeBron. Stop trying to call out Steph. Stop trying to call out Giannis. Stop trying to call out all these people. Because you're looking at it on a micro level. You're looking at it as LeBron should stand with Kyrie. You're not looking at LeBron the brand. You're not looking at Steph Curry the brand, right? LeBron the brand he hired all of his friends. He has hundreds of thousands of people. I wouldn't say hundreds of thousands. Probably 1,000 people that count on him. The LeBron brand. Maybe more than 1,000. And I'm not even talking about just Nike. I'm just talking about the stuff that he started, that he's invested in, right?
Way more
So
than 1,000.
okay, that I was going there. He's got a school that he is funding him. I mean, I'm sure there's investors, but that he is starting and funding. He has all of these ventures with Maverick. He has an entire distribution deal with media. He has his own media. Same with Kevin Durant. Kevin Durant is in Silicon Valley. Heavy in Silicon Valley. Steph Curry is in Silicon Valley too. Heavy. Y'all got to look at these players and think about all the people that they are providing jobs for. All of the people that count on them to improve their lives. LeBron and we could talk, especially LeBron and Steph Curry. They doing a whole lot in the community. LeBron got a school. Steph Curry just worked with the city of Oakland and donated millions of dollars to build libraries all through Oakland because they're not there, to increase literacy amongst minorities. Y'all got to see and look at it, the bigger picture. Look at it on a higher level than trying to call people out and saying, oh, he's not standing with them. Listen, if you get mad at athletes for not standing out publicly, the days of the Muhammad Alis, the days of the Kareem Abdul-Jabbars and the Jim Browns, those you're not going to see a lot of those days anymore. Those days are over. You want to know why? Because all those athletes had one common enemy or one common issue that they were fighting for, and it was civil rights and equality. You can have multiple people talk about that because it was one issue and we were united in one way. There was no media to tear them down. In order for us, if you want LeBron and all of them to do that, then there's got to be more unity there. But to just look at and force them to do it by themselves and then tear them down and not look at it on a macro level, y'all not thinking right. Y'all need to change y'all thinking.
I'm not gonna. So this is what I will say. Just like physical hand-to-hand combat and wars have changed, same thing with social justice wars.
Mm-hmm.
Where before, you're right, they used to line up in lines. They be drumming and shooting. Don't shoot till you see the whites of their eyes. And then tactically, things have evolved. And now, I don't even think the hand-to-hand part is the more dangerous part. It's the cyber portion of it. It's the same thing with activism. Before, you're right, marching and those things, and I still think that those things are vital. But there's also a part of this that you can do that does not involve anything that you are saying or marching or walking or any of that.
You can be the big man in the corner.
Influence, exactly. So, and then you know me always Stop judging people. Mind your own business. If you got time to judge what they're not doing, then you should go do that.
Calling
If
out
you have time
Shaq, like, come on, man.
Then if eh, I can't say that I have an issue with that because if you're a public figure, that comes with the job. But if you have time to point at what somebody's not doing, you should probably fill that gap instead of pointing at what's not being done. That's how I feel anyway.
Wow, this game.
But
I'm
this
sorry.
Kyrie-
I'm
this
listening.
Kyrie
This
thing
Kyrie
for
thing is
me-
about to get messy.
I'm not concerned about any of that other than the standard that is now set and watching them hold themselves to this standard. Because let's not forget about the Phoenix Suns and Robert Sarver and all the stuff that he did now. So, and you know that, they're trying to diversify and get away from these these single-handed owner type of teams, but you still got them out there. And we know that with ownership, those are rich guys who believe they can say and do anything. You make sure you hold them owners to the same standard. It's going to get very interesting.
One thing you can say, good point. One thing you can say about all of this, the veil has been lifted. Everybody will now be held accountable. Everybody.
And that's the reason I don't hate it. If this is the bar that you're going to set, cool. But just like the Twitter thing, that TikTok thing, it's cool when they do it.
The problem when I do it.
Yeah, we finna see here soon and very soon. Because I'm sure you understand that just like everything else, the pendulum swings in both ways. And the Hawks are fighting tonight, ladies and gentlemen.
Hawks are fighting.
Without
That's why I keep looking. I was like,
our
yo, they came back and took the lead.
best player. See,
But with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, I think that's the end of the basketball segment. If it isn't, we're going to end it right there because that was a great discussion. Oh, no. Biggest early – okay, last thing. Biggest early season surprise. Who's the team?
Lord
Biggest
Mark-
early season surprise? The Jazz, the Lakers, the Cavs, the Celtics, or the Bucks?
I knew the Lakers was going to be themselves. The Cavs are playing a little bit better than I expected, but
The Cavs are 9-1.
I said they're playing a little bit better than I expected. I thought that they were already a pretty good team. I didn't know that they were going to be 9-1 good. I thought they were probably about 6-3 like us.
The Celtics,
But-
the Celtics are a surprising team because
Oh.
they lost Ime Udoka.
Yeah. No, that's not what the reason they're surprising. They're surprising because they lost Robert Williams. I thought that was going to be the end. But I do think that this is putting a lot of early undue stress on Al Horford, and I don't know if Al Horford can play all of these games. I like Al, but boy, you ain't a spring chicken no more, my friend.
But of course, the Bucks are 10-0, and they're the quietest 10-0 team ever.
They're not.
9-0. I'm sorry,
When you
9-0.
have No, when you have Giannis running down the middle of the paint, dunking on you every time, I don't know why you think that's a whisper or that's quiet. I can see it and hear it from a mile away.
What I say is
Sure.
quiet is because nobody's really talking. I mean, they're saying, yeah, the Bucks are still undefeated. How long will they go? And that's it. Everybody else is talking because there's other storylines. Like the Jazz right now, you're right. I think that's the biggest storyline. Lauri Markkanen is playing out of his mind. Colin Sexton is playing well, and Jordan Clarkson looks like he enjoys being the man.
And as much as because everybody's already on my back. Oh, you said this Donovan Mitchell trade wasn't a good trade. Does it look like it was a good trade?
It looks like everything worked out in those two trades.
Hell no. Sexton and first of all, Lauri Markkanen is playing out of his mind. And you have Sexton and you've given up all that draft capital for these guys to go somewhere else and play great? Maybe.
What draft capital did they give up?
They gave up like 3 picks.
For who? Oh, Lauri?
No, for Donovan Mitchell.
Oh, the Cavs. You talking about the Cavs?
Yes.
It does look like a good trade. The Cavs are 9-1. How does that not look like a good trade? Lauri Markkanen
Okay.
was a floater in that team. He was out of place. They tried.
No, it wasn't. They needed 3. I mean, they moved Karis LeVert, looks like, to the 3. But no, I'm not giving up Lauri, Colin, and 3 picks when these guys went to Utah and they playing out of their damn minds. Hell no, not for one
You are
person.
second. Come on, man. So you're complaining about Donovan Mitchell and Darius Garland, who are second in the East. They are one of the top backcourt duos in the league. They got to be
I
top
think that
3.
Tim and Sexton could have been right there with all of your capital and Laurie Marketing.
There is no way. I think Darius Garland. So you think Colin Sexton and Donovan Mitchell are on the same plane?
No, I think that Donovan Mitchell is better, but I think that Colin Sexton plus 3 draft picks and Laurie Marketing. No, I think that Utah won the draft. I mean, won the trade. Easy. I've always said that. I said this is too much to give up for a player that's not that much better than him.
Not that much better than whose?
Colin Sexton. There's only so much better you can be than, unless you think Donovan Mitchell is going to be one of the top 3 shooting guards in the NBA.
You think Colin Sexton is anywhere near Donovan? What do you think Donovan Mitchell is ranked right now? In shooting
they're
guards.
Good right now.
Shooting guards. No. Donovan Mitchell amongst shooting guards. Where do you think he's ranked? Top 10?
Better than. Yeah.
So you think that Colin Sexton is close to the top 10 in shooting guards?
15-ish. Yeah, give me 15-ish. Give me 15 and Laurie Marketing and 3 draft picks. You're right.
I don't know, man. I think it's an even swap to me. Right now with the way that they're gelling and playing, it looks like an even swap to me.
I disagree there.
I think
no way. I'm taking it.
I think well, if I had to agree, I would say
3 draft picks.
I would say the picks. I would have given up 2 picks. I don't know if I'd have given up 3. But we gave up 3 for DeJounte Murray.
No, we gave up 2 picks.
2 and a pocket.
And no, we gave up 2 and it was either lottery or top 12 protected. It was always going to be they're going to draft top 12. Look at where the Hornets are. But it ended up being 2 seconds. Don't need no 2 seconds. We have that any day of the week.
Why does Trey have on glasses inside?
Eye issue, trying to protect himself.
Oh yeah, that's a good one. So yeah, we'll say the Jazz, but I disagree with you on who won that trade. I don't.
Okay. Hey.
But with that being said, it's early in the season. We got to see at the end of the year. If Donovan Mitchell fades, then the Jazz don't, then it is what it is. And also, if they mess around and get Victor Wembanyama.
Wait. They gave up their first round pick this year too.
Yeah, I know that's part of it. So if they get the play is to get Victor Wembanyama. If the Jazz get Victor Wembanyama, then yeah, you can.
They're not.
There's no more discussion.
Even if they fall apart, you fall apart and get Victor. You're win-win.
You may get Victor. You're a lottery. You're in the lottery.
What I'm saying is, if you get Victor, either you can outperform what you are, and this team, you recycle this team into another good team with 3 picks, or
you
fall on the face of the earth and you still end up with Victor, which is a hell of a consolation prize.
And the matter of fact, the Cavs' first round picks won't be good. They're not gonna be good. Not like their lottery picks. They're gonna be in the bottom.
No, that's the reason I'm doing like everybody else. Hey, I'll give you 2 firsts for 1 first.
Yeah, that's on you. The Cavs are banking on having Donovan Mitchell and saying, yeah, we'll give you our 3 first rounds because our 3 first round picks are going to be at the worst, at the best for you, our late teens. At the worst, it's going to be 32 or 30. I don't know. It's 30.
I will say,
I don't know,
Nets,
man. Now that I think about it, but we do need to move on. I don't want to belabor it, but I don't know, man. But go ahead.
The Nets being themselves is kind of putting the whole NBA kind of influx because they should not be one of the 3 worst teams in the East, and they look like it, which is good for us. That's one less team we got to fight with.
Oh, you transitioned. I'm about to say what they got to do with what we was talking about, but okay. Yeah. But ladies and gentlemen, we're gonna continue this conversation all year when it comes to the Jazz, the Nets, and the Cavs because they are linked for this year, for the next 3 years with those draft picks. With that being said, ladies and gentlemen, I'm about to get my glasses ready, make sure my hat is straight.
Make me a drink.
Take a little bit of time. Norwood's about to drink his Gainesville sorrows away. That's fine. You can call it your Athens bitterness then, whatever you want to call it. We will Be right back as we get to the football segment, and I got some more to say about the Colts just obviously tanking, like, and bypassing literally every possible black coach that you can, and including two coaches that are not, I don't even remember, no, they're black, two coaches that are on the staff with previous coaching experience to hire an ESPN analyst. Y'all stay tuned.
Improprieties left and right.
This is just totally disrespectful. Y'all stay tuned. We'll be right back.
Yeah. Hey. Hopping in, bitch, and I start the V. Snakes in the grass, so they harder to see. My brother would give up his life to the O. He told me he'd go be a martyr for me. Said that she ready to corner the 6. I hit up Pauline, the charter the P. Ain't really leave, but I'm back. I'm back. I'm back. I'm riding around in Atlanta with Sav, cause that nigga been going harder than me. Nothing to change, I'm just harder to please. Ferrari is making an SUV. We ain't got a choice, we ordering these. Shout out Noel for recording the V's. He know where this shit about to go, cause nobody touching the flow. They say you alone at the top, but it's gotta be lonely below. You boys getting ready to diss, but don't even mention the O, and don't even mention the foe, unless you boys tryna go broke.
Whoa, I got more stripes than Adidas.
Yeah, I got the stripes, but fuck Adidas, nigga.
I don't chase bitches, I leave them.
Hoes screaming like I'm Justin Bieber, nigga.
I don't get mad, I get even.
Hit you niggas like a buzzer beater, nigga.
I don't get mad, I get even.
Hit you niggas, then you gone.
Whoa, all that foundation she wearing, she thinks she QC. Telling all my sneaky links you with me. You must be Coach K, cause you ain't P. I'm on the jet like my last name Lee. 2 sticks in my hand like I'm playing a Wii. G-Block babies will spank you for free. We rough niggas up, now they begging for peace.
G-Block, baby.
Stepping on shit out and fresh in my toe. Born in October, I'm so OVO. Halloween coming, he wanna dress up, but he don't need no costume, I'm turning them ghosts. She called me mucus, I stay in her throat. Stick hit that boy, got his ass hitting notes. My niggas wear masks,
So you know where this shit about to go, cause nobody touching the flow. They say you alone at the top, but it's gotta be lonely below. You boys getting ready to diss, but don't even mention the O, and don't even mention the foe, unless you boys tryna go broke. Aw, damn, man.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to our final segment of the Around the League edition of episode 77 of the Splashcast Monday Night Raw. We are now going to talk about news around the NFL and PWI bat football. Got to make sure, because, you know, we cover HBCU news around the culture already. And it's hard to say PWI football because everybody that plays is black, but whatever. With that being said, let's start with pro football. We're halfway through the season. Who's real? Who's fake? NFC South. Any real teams? Tom Brady. Tom Brady just led another comeback. He seems like that. It seems like that has rejuvenated the team a little bit. The Panthers are the Panthers. Right now, the New Orleans Saints are about to get blown out by the Ravens. The Falcons became the Falcons and falconed again. I don't know if there's any real teams in the NFC South.
The Buccaneers. And the reason that they're a real team is they've not been proven not to be a real team. And they have Tom Brady.
They do have Tom
of all
Brady.
People, you
They
know
do
you
have Tom
can't
Brady.
bet against that.
Nope.
You would like to. We've seen it. It doesn't look good right now. You know he has stuff going on in his personal life, but it's still touchdown Tom.
Yeah, he did it. And you know one thing
And
about
I'm-
Tom, he's all quarterbacks are streaky. Once they see, it's like a shooter. Once you see the ball go in the rim, once Tom like,
Oh, yeah.
I can still do this, it's
No,
over.
Still slinging.
And
So,
ain't
yeah.
nobody in the division that, oh my God, Giannis. Ain't nobody in the division that can stop him for real. Jesus, Giannis. Jesus, he just dunked on our whole entire team. Clint Capella included. Oh no, that was Yankel Kongu. But I still have reservations about the Buccaneers. They have no
Rightfully so.
They have no speed. They have no speed on the field. Nobody can run on that team. Chris Godwin coming back from a torn ACL. Leonard Fournette, he's a power back. They got rid of their other backs. Chris Evans is a possession receiver and physical. Then they got tight ends. There's really no speed on that team. Yeah, you just saw that Giannis dunk. He just dunked on everybody.
Oh, I just saw the AJ Griffin 3-pointer.
Yeah, he hit that. AJ is playing. Yeah. Oh, yeah. I don't know if anybody is real in the NFC South. Let's move on to the NFC East. We don't even really need to cover them games in the NFC South. Everybody lost except for the Bucks, and the Bucks barely won. This is where the bread is buttered. NFC East, NFC Beast. There's so much going on. We ain't even get to the scores yet where the Washington Commandos blew a 10-point lead to Kirk Cousins. You like that? Who was up there dancing with no shirt on and chains in Minnesota. Because nobody really talking about that because Dan Snyder has hired Bank of America to explore a sale of the Commanders. I mean, talk about a 180.
No, it ain't a 180. It's a $7 billion.
Well, I'm saying it's a 180 from when he said, "You don't mess with me. I am.
Yeah.
I've hired investigators. I got dirt on everybody. If I go down, everybody goes down with me."
Click that link and you'll see why too. You know what? Might be time for me to get the hell on here. I see that what's going on here is not good for me.
Yeah, the U.S. Attorney's Office in D.C. Has started investigation into the allegations the Commandos engaged in financial improprieties. Sources confirmed to ESPN. Backstory, that is basically saying that Dan Snyder was cooking the books. And when I say books, I mean plural, because he had multiple books that he was turning in, one secret and one public. So if that is the case, I definitely would be the guy too that be said, you know what, $7 billion could really just take away all my financial problems. I could stay a billionaire. I ain't got the stress of nobody else, and I can go live with all and pay all the naked topless women all over the world and not have to worry about it.
Oh my God!
That's what started all of this.
I want to thank myself for having a small, very small, but a true filter. I almost said the exact wrong joke at the exact wrong time. Let me tell you that. But with that said, so does everything just go away if he sells the team? Is that a team problem with the investigation, or is that a Dan Snyder problem?
It depends on how the corporation is set up. I mean, I'm sure they do all their finances in-house. So, I mean, that's a Dan Snyder problem now that we talk it through. It's probably a Dan Snyder problem because you are the head of the corporation that's cooking the books. You are Enron. And if this happens, no matter if you retire, sell, or whatever, I wonder if they'll try to confiscate some of the money. DeJounte Murray is insane. I wonder if they'll.
You see me shut up over here. I said, well, damn.
I wonder if they'll try to recoup some of that money. Right? I wonder if they'll try to recoup the money if he sells the team. They're like, no. You had improper this. We're going to fine you and take as much money as possible. I don't know how that works. That's actually a really good question that we need to follow as this unfolds. Who takes the fall if he sells the team?
Yes. Because if he can just wash his hands and be like, oh, I'm out of here, that's a hell of a golden parachute.
$1 billion golden parachute. You know what? I'll just get out of here.
$7 billion. There, as much as $1 billion is quite the achievement, 7 of them things completely different. Why'd you do that? Why did you go back there? Because the man want to own the team.
Yeah, I mean that's the next thing we was talking about. KD wants to own the team, like he owned this dude right here. That is the link that you put in there. That is the link.
Oh my bad, I was being messy, man. But yeah, he shouldn't.
All I did was click the link. That is the link that you put in there. But Yeah, man. KD
Crazy.
looks like he wants to be part of the ownership group and the NFL. It would behoove the NFL to bring in a minority owner. Now
It
he
would
is the
behoove
he is
Wayne
the
Gafford to
opposite.
Get up off that damn ground.
He is the opposite of. He is the right. KD talks about dispensaries and smoking weed and all. Well, actually,
wait. I
He's
was about
not.
to say, wait. I think that Kevin Durant is the perfect NFL owner. Sensitive, very emotional, rich.
and likes drugs and likes weed.
And may dabble in legal cannabis. We're not putting that on KD. We ain't putting that on black men that they like drugs.
You dabbling in legal cannabis. You dabbled in the illegal cannabis before. Cannabis only been legal for 2 years.
Hey, man, we don't know that. You cannot confirm that.
You're right. I can't confirm,
don't-
and you're right. But if he dabbles in legal cannabis, that's a legal drug. He just like out there in
But
Portland.
I
Hey,
think-
man, and some of the owners that we gonna talk about later like drugs too. They got caught with 3,000 Molly pills and $100,000 worth of drug money. I didn't forget because I don't forget hypocrisy. I remember it all. But anyway, I'm gonna ask you this question, and then we'll wrap up the NFC East and move to the NFC North, which is just awful. I'm gonna ask you this question while I open up the links. It has been rumored, Nikki, don't lose your mind. It has been rumored going to be the same thing. There's going to be what can you offer me? He has literally made free agency where you say, I'm gonna wait for teams to come for them to hire me. And I'm going to see who's the best situation for me because I'm that good. When you take the power away from the teams like that, shit now. That's a big deal. That could change like the way that LeBron at the end he's honestly changed the way that NBA teams are made up now, right? LeBron changed that. Hey, let's team up, go here. We need 3 people here. We need this. No. Yeah. LeBron changed that.
There was a team up before. Don't forget about that Lakers team with Gary Payton and Karl Malone and everybody. There have been opportunities where people have strategically worked together. I'm not putting that on LeBron. I just want him to own up for doing that shit like everybody else.
I'm sorry, y'all. I'm still watching the Hawks game. Oh my God.
Is this a good oh my God or a bad oh my
Very
God?
good. You'll see. So OBJ in Dallas, that would be crazy. Oh, I forgot to click on this one. We didn't talk about the one team in the league that we need to talk about. Can the Eagles go 17-0? Yep. Onyeka Okongwu.
Better
You
move
about to
out
see
of
it.
the way,
You
boy.
about to see it. You about to see another one too. Oh, Giannis got sick of that. Yeah, Giannis got sick of that. Too much. Y'all doing too much.
Oh man, they might. This is what happens. You start worrying about stupid stuff like this because you play a bunch of stupid teams, and then fall out of grace of just trying to win a Super Bowl. But I'm gonna tell you, it's gonna be a couple teams on there that's gonna be trying to beat you.
I think the Washington Commanders is a trap game for them.
Not so much. Not the Commanders. I don't think they can. I don't think that they can be competitive anymore. The Colts are clearly not trying to be competitive
The
anymore.
Commanders have a better
mean-
record than we do.
Yeah, no.
Well, they're tied with us, 4 and 5.
Yes. So, yes, the Packers cannot compete. The Titans should be very interesting. The Giants should be very interesting. Bears should be interesting, and the Cowboys. But guess what? Guess who did? God did.
God did. Hey. AFC
Speaking
East.
God did, boy.
What in the world is happening in the AFC
Yo.
East?
Jonathan Taylor Thomas got to be the luckiest man on earth, yo.
Sauce Gardner is number 1 in everything
Oh,
passing.
shit, yes.
Sauce Gardner is number 1 in man coverage, number 1 in passes defensed, number 1 in interceptions, number 1 in yards allowed, number 1 in catches allowed. Sauce, they called him Big Apple Sauce Gardner, and I was like, wow, that is pretty
Call
good.
me, dog. Mott's call me immediately. We got some talking to do.
He already
'Cause I
got
am Big Apple
Buffalo
Sauce.
Wild Wings. I already got Buffalo Wild Wings. He probably about to get Frank's Red Hot pretty soon. They got all the starters on the
Big
bench.
Apple sauce is great.
They call him Big Applesauce. Is out there, and he, even though the last play was pass interference, he still had 2
Without a doubt.
interceptions. He still had 2 interceptions,
He's
and
a
that
rookie playing against adults.
Mhm.
Cincinnati,
the best receiver in the league, arguably.
I'm gonna apologize. Maybe I was a little wrong, bro. Maybe y'all did have a couple players over there, but we always said Sauce was good.
Well,
questioned-
Cincinnati's team was you just don't throw the ball. Alabama didn't beat them by throwing the ball. Alabama
Yeah.
ran on them. They didn't throw the ball at all, really. Sauce Gardner didn't get the ball thrown to him probably since his junior year. Sophomore year of college. He had not allowed a touchdown since high school. I don't think
Think
he's
about how long he has been that good.
legit 6'4", legit everything. Like he has long arms, he's fast, he's physical. He is
Let me
problem.
tell you, I was wrong. Yeah, I thought it was a question between Kyle Hamilton and Sauce Gardner. Boy, hey, when we make mistakes, I'm gonna own up. I'm gonna own up to that whole mistake.
Because I was
me
like,
tell you right-
yeah, no.
Hey, that
Oh, that's
boy
the
Sauce-
graphic. Number 1 in pass yards allowed. Number 1 in passing TDs allowed. 0. He's only allowed 26 yards in 9 games. I'm going to say that again. He's only allowed 26 yards passing in 9 games. Only allowed 2 first downs. Has forced number 1 in forced incompletions and number 1 in yards per snap allowed in man coverage this season. He is the number 1 man cornerback in the league. And if the Jets try to do what the Eagles did with Nnamdi Asomugha, they are stupid. Nnamdi Asomugha had similar stats, and they tried to make him a zone corner, and he just got destroyed. Y'all better leave. Wow, y'all better leave Sauce in man, because right now that defense is beating everybody. Everybody.
And that's got to be so frustrating as like an adult wide receiver. You think like, oh no, I'm about to beat this young kid, and this kid be like, nah, not today, fam.
Not
Hey,
today, old ass.
by the way.
I can't say what old ass brother. Not today, old ass brother. I'm 21 and you 32, and you about to be on this
I'm a
ground.
I'm 21 too, boy. I'm 6'4" too, boy. I'm damn near
6'4",
a shooting
200.
guard. Come on out here if you want to. I'm gonna drive your ass in this grass. He gonna make somebody retire.
In other news, the Broncos, the Dolphins have gotten better. They added Bradley Chubb and promptly signed him to a $115 million deal. Then they also traded for Jeff Wilson Jr. from San Francisco. They took advantage of that because of the Christian McCaffrey trade. They had too many running backs.
And he's a San Francisco guy, so he knows the system.
Yep.
That was a-
He
that was a
knew what to go
very-
get.
That was a very targeted pick in going to get Jeff Wilson. Smart move. As much as we made jokes about multiracial McDaniel,
He is
he
coaching
ain't
his
a bad
ass
coach
off.
so far.
He is coaching
Yeah.
his ass off. I mean, you
And
heard
we can-
Stephon Diggs give him his credit for him ascending to the best receiver, or top 2
Yeah.
receiver in the league.
We
With
can
Bradley
talk about
Chubb.
you not shower, and then we can definitely tell you that you coaching well. So yeah, congratulations,
Yeah,
my
man.
friend.
They running to get away from you. The Dolphins won this weekend. Tua is looking like he has shaken off the effects of that terrible violent hit.
Might not be
Um,
the greatest word choice, but
Shaking off the ill effects of the terrible violent hit.
Next,
What was wrong with that?
Next, it was a joke. You missed it.
I did. Or did I? Who wins the AFC East right now? If you had to pick right now, remind you, Josh Allen just.
Bills.
Well, you should again. Let me finish say what I'm saying before you say that. Josh Allen is being evaluated for a
right.
UCL injury in his throwing elbow. What is that? The UCL is in your elbow. It's the one that puts the torque on the ball, the one that allows you to spin the ball, the one that allows you to throw it accurately. Without that, you're really just lobbing the ball everywhere. It is normally an injury that happens to Major League Baseball pitchers. So, and he was injured at the end of the game.
Yeah, let me figure out the status on that before I make a decision. You knew that. That's a Reggie setup right there. All right, so tell me what you think. Even though he may or may not be playing for the rest of the season.
It ain't no mayor. That ain't no setup. I said, let me finish what I got to say. You said home. You said Bills. I said, all right, well. AFC West,
like
Patrick
Destiny's Child.
Mahomes. AFC West, Patrick Mahomes is Patrick Mahomes. He basically beat the Tennessee Titans by himself. Tennessee Titans defense is for real, man. That AFC South, well, we'll get there. Patrick Mahomes led the team in rushing, and he threw the ball 68 times to beat the Titans in overtime. So he is literally everybody. With that being said, let's get to AFC North. Baltimore is the outright leaders in the AFC North, followed by the Bengals, then the Cleveland Cavaliers, Cleveland Browns.
Nah, that was not the Cavs.
Is it the Cleveland Browns? Then the Steelers bringing up the rear. This man comes back pretty soon, week 13, if I'm not mistaken,
Correct.
against Houston. Do you start him immediately? Deshaun Watson is who I'm referring to.
Do you want the headache or not?
What you mean? What you mean? They had paid $238 million for that.
They
headache.
had paid
What do you mean? Do you want the headache? You wanted the headache when you traded for him. This is the life that you decided to sign up for. $238 million times.
Hey man, oath and fidelity. That's what I'm gonna tell you is the answer to that. It's just not the right week for him. It's not the right week for you.
It's week 13
Skip it.
in Houston.
Skip
If
it.
I'm Cleveland, this is a way
Skip
for you
it.
to double down. This is a way for you to double
On
down.
dumb.
You already doubled down on the contract. Go ahead and send a big FU to the NFL and start him right
Oh,
now.
Yeah.
Why not? Do your thing.
Dumb. DUM dumb. Wait the next week. Act like you have some sense. Say, hey man, we're trying to get Watson adjusted. We look forward to seeing him play next week. This week will just be him getting acclimated to being back with the team. That is it. Don't play
All right,
yourself.
man. All right, man. I'm about to.
And
go
if you
off
don't
on
know
that.
the answer, ask your significant other.
Or don't.
Okay.
Uh,
Set yourself on fire. Don't matter
you
to me.
gonna-
Not
you
my
gonna
team,
set
not my problem.
You gonna set yourself on fire by asking your significant other? You got the audacity to ask me that question? Like, what you?
Well, if you know that that's the answer, then you already know what you should do and should not do. Here we go. We got to start figuring out very soon. Is he good or not?
I hate when I have to digress. You said this from the beginning. He has not done anything to show me anything, and what he's done, nothing. He has not shown us anything. He's 5-20 now. The reason I shoot him bail on all of this is because he had Urban Meyer for a year.
I agree.
But what I've seen this year is that he is
My boy playing Crutchy.
Yep, he is looking like Kirk Cousins, like of yesteryear. He does not move the needle. For you to have Travis Etienne come back from a Liz Frank injury, and you supposed to be the number one quarterback drafted, and they run the ball 30 times
Since
and give him
Peyton Manning.
and they give him 40
That's-
touches, that is
that-
telling for me, because they signed all them receivers. They signed everybody. Right?
Yes, and Crutchy can hoop. And you're not in the regular group here. You're in the elite level group to start the day. The Peyton Manning, the Andrew Luck type of guys. That's
Is
who
that
you
his
are.
fault though? Is that his fault?
It don't matter. That's who you are. It is what it is. That's
He
what they
earned it.
expected out of you. Yeah.
He
You got it
earned
from
it.
high school. And now you get here, and it's not about your team being bad. You're not showing us anything that makes us believe that you're even good. I don't think that I've watched enough of him to be like, you know what? His team sucks, but he's good.
So I actually went back and watched all of their full highlights on YouTube for the past 3 or 4 games. I mean, he's just kind of there.
For instance, like Justin Fields, he's a guy who we still like. He might be all right. The team just sucks.
Yeah, he's
I
showing
think you
it,
look
though.
at Trevor Lawrence and you're like, what am I watching this for?
This year. I think honestly you should look at this year, and this is why I shoot him bail. This is really his rookie year to me. I don't think he learned anything on the Urban Meyer the year before. Nothing. I think that was a red shirt year.
Caught up. Don't get caught up.
Yeah, I think that was a red shirt year for me because there was nothing. He should show improvement recognizing defenses, but I think you got to give him. I mean, he's a first round pick. You got to give him another year at least. You can't do anything. You can't.
No, you're rocking with him for at least another year or two.
At least 2 5-year
Shoot
contract.
that shit, Crutchy. I like him.
And then finally, before we get to college football, what in the entire fuck is Indianapolis doing right now? Indianapolis went from 2 weeks ago, they benched their starting QB, Matt Ryan. They fired their offensive coordinator. They last week, and then this week, they fired their head coach. And then on Monday, the same damn day, they signed an ESPN analyst, Jeff Saturday, as the interim head coach. Mind you, the coaching staff has 2 other people on the coaching staff that have not been fired with head coaching experience. What?
Well, okay. My first issue is
I don't know.
Is the fact.
Go ahead.
Wait, hold
My
on.
head hurts. My head hurts for this.
First thing is you have a team that was competitive for the AFC South. They're in second place right now. And when this started, I think they were tied with Tennessee, and they just decided to bench Matt Ryan for no reason. After
To
Matt
start
Ryan had won
Sam Ellinger.
Yes. After Matt Ryan, I think he lost the very last game, but the 2 games before, he won them on game-winning drives.
Yep.
Then you go out, and then you're just like, oh, well, we're benching him for the rest of the season. And there's a large group of people who are Matt Ryan haters for whatever reason. And they were like, look, he's washed. And I'm like, he's not washed? This doesn't make any sense. Then the next week, they fired the coordinator. And I didn't really say nothing about that because he don't have the complexion for protection. And if you're going to go ahead and bench Matt Ryan, I can understand how that is always the next fall guy. Easy money.
Yeah, coordinators are always the first to go before somebody gets fired. Always the first.
And nobody's even accounting for the fact that Jonathan Taylor has basically not been of any value for the entire season. So those first 2, I didn't like it, but I was like, Matt Ryan, I told you, it looked real funny to me, but it's enough Matt Ryan haters in the world that it kind of is what it is. But then when they fired Frank today, I was like, wait, hold on.
Well, I didn't mind the firing of Frank. I didn't mind that either because they obviously have lost on offense. Frank is the quarterback whisperer, and they obviously have lost on offense. They are not listening to Frank. They're not listening to him anymore. It's obvious. But
well, you don't know that because Matt Ryan at least played decent, and then when they just benched him, which that means it's probably not a Frank benching. Somebody probably told him Frank bench Matt, which I know Frank is probably like, well, I should have just kept playing Matt if y'all was going to fire me a week later.
All of that is fine. I can't for the life of me understand how Jeff Saturday. This is why it's triggering to me. This is a corporate move, right? This is a move. If you work in corporate America, this is what that move is. This move was about relationships. Jeff Saturday has no credentials at all to be an NFL head coach. 0. The only coaching experience he has is being a high school coach that he quit in order to go be an ESPN analyst. 0 coaching experience. He is listed as a consultant for the Indianapolis Colts. He got this job because of 24 points. He got this job.
Yo, that's the funniest shit I've ever seen in my life. It's no way that you could look there and know what's on my computer screen, but you knew exactly what I was looking at. That's
AJ
funny
Griffin.
as hell.
But Jeff Saturday, the only reason he was hired as interim head coach is because of Jim Irsay. It's the only reason. He has a relationship with Jim Irsay.
Yep.
That is triggering because you stepped over multiple people. I understand that you trying to get him some coaching experience. He probably expressed in the past that I want to go into coaching, which is why he become a high school coach. But you are bypassing literally every other person that is in the league with coaching experience or even affiliated with this team for Jeff freaking Saturday. Damn, we ain't even got to the fact that you hired him over all of these people that are black, including Reggie Wayne, who is a position coach for the Colts. Am I wrong for feeling this way? Am I wrong for making this racy? Because we can stay out of race. Why in the hell would you hire Jeff Saturday anyway? He has no experience. See? Ain't no way. Ain't no way possible that you could. Y'all didn't even, I bet y'all listening to this didn't even fix your mind to think that a black NFL analyst could be. Imagine the Colts going and hiring Nate Burleson. That would be destroyed.
That's like, he ain't really. Is he an analyst or is he more that's like a talk show that he does? But
it's the same damn thing. It's the same damn thing. He does the same thing Jeff Saturday does.
My
at
issue
7.
is that it's already circumvented every rule in place. Every year ESPN does the same bit about how there are not enough black coaches, and then they don't ever understand how black coaches don't get an opportunity. Then you do shit like this. You're going to make him the interim coach, right? Which lets you know right now that he's going to be the head coach next year. So if
No, it
I'm
doesn't.
a black coach,
No, it doesn't. It means it's gonna be the head coach for the end of the year. They ain't. If they did that, then they need to take Jim Irsay. They need to check his. They need to take a drug test every week.
what do you think that? So you think that he got Jeff Saturday to come take this interim job under the impression that he would have to go and apply like everybody else and have an opportunity to get this job?
I don't
Come
think
on,
Jeff
Reggie.
Saturday has an opportunity to be the head coach. I don't. I think Jeff Saturday. This is Jim Irsay throwing him a bone and allowing him to get coaching experience on his resume, and he will end up on somebody's coaching staff next year. There's no possible way. If Jim Irsay did that and you hired Jeff Saturday as your head coach next year, you should be fired. Your team should be taken away. You should clean out the front office. You should do something. Somebody needs to pay you $7 billion. You and your man up there in
Okay,
Washington
so Reggie,
can go to hell.
So let's think about it. Why would you not? Why would you, as a person who owns a team, looking for the betterment and success of your team, if you thought that it was going to be somebody who is currently on the staff, it makes more sense to let them coach through the year so that they can get their reps up. It only makes sense to do this if you're investing in a guy next year. That's the reason I'm saying that, yeah, I assume Jeff Saturday has his job sewed up. There is no way that I would assume.
This is the dumbest shit in the history of dumbest shit that Jim Irsay has done. Mind you, he got caught with 3,000 pills of ecstasy and $100,000. This is the dumbest shit that you could do. Dumb.
Yeah.
Dumb.
And
dumb.
you think that I'm going to go in as a black coach and apply for this job when you went and got Jeff Saturday from ESPN?
Jeff Saturday
Why am I
didn't
gonna waste
even
my
have
time?
to apply. He didn't even have to apply.
No,
They were about.
This is the best part about this little chart right here. You can see exactly when Jeff Saturday started negotiating. He said, all right, oh, so you want to be the coach? All right, well, let me go ahead and start ending this right now. Let me bench Matt first. Go ahead and fire the offensive coordinator. Let that marinate for about a week. Next week, I'll get rid of Frank, and then we'll make you the interim coach and get you ready for next season.
Everybody,
It's a turnkey operation.
I'm reading the comments. I forgot about Lewis Riddick. I mean, Lewis Riddick just can't catch a break. They are literally
But he's
hiring
not a coach.
everybody
He's not a coach.
else.
He's not a coach.
It
He's not a
does.
coach. He don't wanna coach.
They are hiring everybody else for these positions, coaching and GMs. Everybody else but Lewis Riddick.
Oh yeah,
Mike
yeah.
Mayock literally is the reason that the Raiders are in the firestorm, dumpster fire that they are in. Mike
But
Mayock.
we told you Mike Mayock was not it. But Lou Riddick, he's not a he. I don't think that he's, from everything that I've seen, I don't think he's interested in coaching. I think that he's interested in being in the front office and being a general manager. Now, I definitely think that there are multiple teams that are missing out on the boat on not hiring Lou Riddick. I think that is egregious.
Yeah. So, and also they said, what are this other one that I read? Oh, they said they're going after. Oh, so they are tanking for. It's obviously that they taking for somebody. One of these quarterbacks they taking for: Bryce Young, C.J. Stroud, the dude Will Levis from
we
somebody.
Gonna get us one next year. But also, now that we've ended football,
No,
let's take one moment here.
We've ended NFL.
Yeah, in the NFL, I would like to highlight. I'm gonna have me a little drink here. The Atlanta Hawks just ended the winning streak of the Milwaukee Bucks. We beat them handily from probably like the second quarter on. We beat them.
Bench mob.
And we did it without our best player, in air quotes. And AJ Griffin played his ass off.
He did. AJ Griffin, Nate finally played the rookie. Rookie said, "I'm gonna make you play me." But let's get to Let's get to the college football real quick. It's only a couple things.
We good.
No, we're not good. Let me go and put these on, ladies and gentlemen.
We good, dog. We relax now.
Let's get here real quick. So I'm gonna put this on because what my co-host said, and I quote, "It's gonna be a good weekend for me. I get to see Georgia lose. I think he said stomped out by Tennessee. You said Florida was going to win, so he was half right. And we thought that the Falcons were going to win, but they falconed. The Georgia Bulldogs, Lord, I can't see with these on. The Georgia Bulldogs, if there is any time I talked about Jackson State versus Southern and how Jackson State won 35-0. But the score was not indicative of how the game went, and it was actually closer than 35-0. This score, 27-13, is like the direct opposite. 27-13 does not show the dominance that Georgia displayed against Tennessee. It was dominant. Dominant from the get-go. Now, if they had to play in a neutral site, it'd be an interesting game because it wouldn't be that loud. But that game Saturday, Tennessee was beat after that first field goal. It was a wrap. Georgia just dominated them from the get-go. I still have my reservations about Stetson Bennett, but that defense, it seems like last year the front seven was the dominant players, the world beaters. And now that back seven is playing out of their mind this year. They held Tennessee, who was averaging 49 points a game, who said that they were going to score 50 to 13 points. And the touchdown was a trash time touchdown against the freshmen and walk-ons.
I will 100% say that. I've seen Tennessee's offense play very well, and I expected them to do the same against y'all. They didn't. Like you and I talked about earlier, I wanted somebody to beat y'all before y'all got your confidence up.
World beater status, man.
And I mean, you can see it in Brock Bowers. He's playing a lot different. I would say Brock Bowers has probably been the most consistent one. It's really Darnell Washington, big 6'8" mammoth of a man. Tennessee. Brock still need to get some hips, but outside of that, but he can block. He's an ox.
This game, Hendon Hooker threw that interception, and Hendon Hooker doesn't throw interceptions. He threw that first interception and was scared to throw the ball the rest of the game. They did not really go downfield. And that front seven from Georgia, he could not run either. I was really, really wondering what Georgia was going to do to stop the running of Hendon Hooker. I felt like we matched up well against their receivers. I felt like we matched up well against them in the interior. I felt like the Hendon Hooker was the wild card. He was the one, his legs and him being able to extend plays and do everything. But Georgia didn't do that. When you just play the way they did, they blitzed number 2 Shemaiah London the entire game. They just ran him up the middle every time. But what they did was just collapse the pocket. They just squeezed the pocket down. He had nowhere to go. And Georgia just utterly dominated this game. Utterly dominated. And now they have a 91% chance to go to the college playoff. Tennessee drops down to a 64. We'll tell you why it didn't drop down any further here soon. And, of course, Michigan, Ohio State, Clemson. TCU is disrespected to me, but we'll get there.
Well, go back to that for a second if we can. Because I sure as hell don't believe. First of all, Clemson, they should be toast after Notre Dame. Shouldn't even be in this conversation anymore.
I don't know about toast. It'll depend on how Notre Dame finishes the season.
Notre Dame is like 4-5.
If Notre Dame ends up 7-5 or 8-5, then it looks better for them.
So number one, Clemson, we already know that they're trash. They're faking. They're out of all of these teams, I think that they're the worst. Then after that,
wow,
I would like to see Michigan and TCU. And I would really like to see USC and Ohio State.
So USC doesn't really I don't have a lot of faith in USC.
Wait. They still got to play. They got to play Notre Dame, don't they?
They also have to play Oregon. Right now, Oregon is clicking on all cylinders. Dan Lanning is playing really, really well. He has that team playing well. Bo Nix, they've simplified the game for him. They've got the running game going. And Oregon looks like a formidable opponent in the Pac-12. This game right here will be interesting. And you're right. USC has to play Notre Dame. If Notre Dame beats USC, that makes Clemson look even better. So that's why I'm saying it's hard to count out Clemson because they lost to Notre Dame, who beat USC as well. Right? And
Notre Dame has lost so many games already.
If Clemson wins out and wins the ACC and Notre Dame beats USC, Clemson could skeech in there. I feel like TCU is disrespected. TCU is disrespected. They're undefeated. The only thing about them that causes concern is that they've had to come behind for the last 4 games to win. Are you frozen? I can't tell. Okay.
Nope.
You weren't blinking at all.
No, because the Ravens are whooping the Saints' ass.
Good. Of course, Michigan and Ohio State they're gonna eliminate them. One of them gonna go. And Tennessee,
you
right?
Know who's gonna go? Michigan is going to lose.
Michigan won last year.
That good. Which one you want? You want Michigan or Ohio State?
Ohio State just struggled against Northwestern.
Which one you want?
I don't know. I just said I don't know. Push. Michigan's defense is better than Ohio State's defense to me, and they run the ball better. But Ohio State is Ohio State.
Michigan don't stand a chance.
Here's the reason why Alabama's. I don't understand why Alabama is still up there, but I need everybody. Alabama lost to LSU. I still say that was a block in the back, but I honestly don't know if they would have stopped LSU from scoring anyway. LSU beats Alabama in Baton Rouge. I told y'all it was a night game. I picked LSU. Thanks for the beer. Alabama looks like they have been eliminated from the college football playoff.
But tell me this: was that not the best game of the season?
That was up and down. It was a really, really good game. It was a really, really, really. I can't think of one that was better right now.
Are you telling me that you think that there are 3 teams that are better than Alabama right now?
Right now, better? Yes. Georgia, Ohio State, Tennessee. I would probably say right now Oregon. Right now.
Maybe.
But I do need everybody to relax about Alabama losing. Now I do need y'all to relax though, because y'all have been, and I'm talking to my Georgia brethren too. Y'all been real spicy talking about Alabama like they've been getting just mollywopped. They went to the number 2 team in the nation in Tennessee and lost on the last second field goal. Then they went to LSU and lost in overtime. They lost by a combined 4 points. And y'all are saying the dynasty is over. Y'all got to relax.
Exactly. I'm not going to sit up here, I mean, that's what happens when you play in this conference. But, I mean, it's not like they got their ass whooped in 2 games. Like you said, they lost 2 games by 4 points of 2 of the top 5 teams in college football. I would say, I mean,
on the road. On the road.
Yes. If you pick any of these teams and say do what they just did, you probably lucky to split.
Only one team I have confidence in 2 teams I have confidence in right now that could go on the road in a division rivalry and win.
What is the second one?
Ohio State. Right now.
2 SEC teams?
I think Ohio State
Never
could
will I believe that.
Ohio State could go in and beat Tennessee, and I think Ohio State could go in and beat LSU.
Not back to back. I will bet that. If there is a way for that,
back to back is tough.
Like
back to back is tough. Woo!
On the road, back to back. Hell no.
No, they played Mississippi State in between, didn't they?
Okay, 2 and 3 weeks don't matter. Pick your poison. And that's
no, they didn't. They played Mississippi State before because Bryce Young was out that game.
You're right. Nope. Yeah, I just I don't think that anybody that's a tough draw. And then for you to go on the road twice, and that gives you an advantage specifically in the SEC, and to lose by combined 4 points.
4. And y'all talking about the dynasty is over. Now, I will say this about Alabama. The reason to me right now that Georgia has surpassed Alabama for right now, because you never know with Nick. Nick could come right back with the best recruiting class of all time next year, and it'd be right back to what we've seen before. But Georgia, over the last 3 years, has consistently out-recruited Alabama on the offense and defensive line. Consistently. Interior, to be exact.
But y'all have also played more advantageous schedules, too. Let's be real here. You said it yourself. Y'all, this is a good schedule.
Talking about this year? Yeah. Come on, man. Yeah. No, I don't like that, though, because Alabama won championships without having to play nobody. LSU was down. Okay. Ole Miss was down. They played. Their team to play in the East was Tennessee and Florida. When Florida is ass. Come on, man. Y'all can't say that now.
But what I'm saying is, what it's like when you get the right schedule, and what it's like when you get the wrong schedule.
Oh yeah, we had to play Alabama and Texas A&M and damn Florida and Tennessee. I was like,
we went 4. We were like 4th. I was like, okay, our team is pretty good. But the schedule lends itself to us being pretty good, too. Sometimes you're going to look at that schedule and be like, well, and if you look at the schedule, you didn't expect Tennessee to be that good. You're like, oh, no, I'll probably put Tennessee down as a W. But you get Tennessee playing like that, and then you come back, man, and you get LSU.
And you in the SEC West, and you still got to play Ole Miss next week. So they went Tennessee, LSU, Ole Miss this week.
And if you're successful, imagine if you just able to win all those games, you still get an SEC championship. It ain't, man. That shit it's a gauntlet.
It's a gauntlet.
Well, other people playing Rutgers and Northwestern.
Struggling. Speaking of SEC, the Gators rebounded for a win, 41-24 over Texas A&M. Now Texas A&M did have literally everybody hurt, like literally everybody, the entire team. But
where can you see that on the score? Look real close. Zoom in if you got to. Tell me where you can see that at, Reggie.
Oh, everybody was hurt? Oh, I mean, well,
No.
the score 41-28. I don't know.
Okay.
Whatever. But what does this mean for Jimbo? Jimbo seems like, because if he didn't have all that, and this, you know what? I just put 2 and 8 together. If they didn't invest all that money into the 2021, 2022 recruiting class, I don't think Jimbo's seat would be hot. But for Jimbo Fisher to be on the hot seat after having the highest recruiting class ever in history of recruiting,
Wait, Roquan
that
Smith
means
is number 18, so he looks like a defensive back.
and he cannot be tackled. I mean, he
Hell
cannot be
no,
blocked.
hell
They
no. I don't even
cannot
know who
block
to run
this
away
dude.
from. I gotta run away from everybody now. But for me,
Does Jimbo
It's
Is Jimbo
interesting.
Fisher out of there?
no. But he's gonna next season is gonna become a problem. He's not out of there, and he's probably not even out of there next season. But if he doesn't get it together next season, it's gonna become a joke.
Man, it's gonna be next season. Gonna be difficult for him because Alabama has everybody coming back except for Bryce Young. He'll probably end up going to the league, but everybody else comes back next year, and they already let Jalen Milroe play earlier this year, and you saw he run a 4.40 and could throw the ball 72 yards in the air. So, first of all, y'all better respect Alabama. And A&M, y'all it's gonna be tough because I'm telling you right now, they already done lost like 6 people off that recruiting class already.
But A&M also has played 23 freshmen or redshirt freshmen this year.
They kicked
So
6 of
you
them
got
off the
some-
team. 6 of them are gone.
Oh,
The
okay,
weed,
you're down to 20.
the people transferring, all of that.
Okay.
They gone.
Okay, with that new more problem, they have played 17 true freshmen and redshirt freshmen this year.
They have,
Um,
and that receiver Stewart is a
Yeah.
real deal. He was
And
he
then-
dropped a
and
couple,
I'ma
but
tell
he's
you,
a real deal.
It's a very similar thing that happened with Chip Kelly out there. It took him a while. Then he had a really young team, and now that team is starting to look like a regular team. So I understand it, and I think that if they don't come out next year and compete for the SEC West, it's a problem. You'll have to win it, but you can't have another season like this.
Well,
If
they
you
gonna
have
be
another
ranked
season
high, though.
like this,
They are. They're gonna be ranked. You just said, "Come on, man." I'm a Georgia fan. I
just
know
think
what
they
it's like
just
to
let
have
him
17.
score.
Oh, what are you
No,
talking
I
about?
think they just let that dude score. Like, I think they just like, no, we're not even gonna tackle him. You got it, big dog. Get you 7. I don't think I've ever seen anything like this.
I
Is the
think they
slowest
thought he- I
touchdown
think
I've
they
ever
thought
seen
he
in
was
my
out.
life.
I think they thought he was out. But anyway, moving on, man. ACC action. We talked about it. NC State beats Wake 30-21. They stay. I think they're bowl eligible now. Here's the team I wanted to discuss. 8-1.
Why?
8-1. If UNC goes and wins the ACC and goes 12-1, they have really not played anybody. The only team they're gonna have to beat, if they haven't played him already, I think.
Hey,
is
New York Giants. This is the guy you should draft as your quarterback.
No. He's a sophomore. He ain't coming out yet. Drake May. I
Go
think he's
ahead,
a
get him
freshman.
now. Get him
He's
early.
a freshman.
Get him now.
But
Right now.
So you don't give UNC nobody give. They're ranked number 17 at 8-1. That means nobody believes in them. Are they? What are they? What are they?
They're a team that struggled with FAMU to start the season.
They should have lost to FAMU too. They should have lost to FAMU.
And then it looks like they should have lost to Virginia.
Let's see who they. I'm gonna take my time and I'm gonna look up who their schedule is for the rest of the season. They lost to Notre Dame 45-32. That gives Clemson another feather in their hat.
Wait, hold on. If Clemson is 4 and they lost 45-32, there is no way that UNC should not be in the top 10.
No
top
way.
5.
No way. But
Only team-
they have not beaten a ranked team though. No, except for Wake. No, they play Wake Forest next Saturday, Georgia Tech, and NC State. So they don't play anybody. The only ranked team on their schedule is Wake Forest.
NC State.
Oh, and
No,
NC,
yeah,
NC State.
Yeah.
So
Wake
NC
probably not
State
gonna
is
be
actually the
ranked
only
anymore.
ranked team. They only have one ranked team on their schedule.
Yeah.
This is like mid-major. This is like a mid-major. They get in at an at-large.
Cincinnati schedule.
This sucks. That the fact that they probably won't make. They'll make the ACC championship game because I think they got to play, but they'll have to play Clemson. And if they beat Clemson, at that point, where do you rank them as one-loss team? If they win out and win the ACC, they are a one-loss team, but with the only loss to Notre Dame. Where do you rank them?
Nobody cares about this team because we all know the truth. They're not that good.
Okay, we'll move on from there.
Speaking of not that good,
Woo!
Jeez.
Shut up. Listen, this is this is another game I want
Fight.
some beers on.
fight him. Not right there. Right there. You.
This is
Yeah.
another game
You.
that I didn't I win some beers on this game
Nah.
too? I won some beers on this game too. You picked Miami, and I picked Florida State, and Florida
Hey,
State beat them
choked them
45-3. 45 to look at this.
You sure that's
Shut
not
up.
FAMU?
They look like it. Fam, you probably could beat them right if they play. If Miami and Fam you play right now, Fam you probably would win.
Boy. Oh, I'm gonna tell you right now. That extra little move. I'm like, ref. I gotta fight him, and I gotta fight him because you won't protect me.
He wasn't down.
He was down and out like Cameron.
That's all I wanted. I don't really care about that game. Again, Notre Dame dominate. Clemson got a quarterback problem on their hands because
Clemson
DJU
is
ain't it.
not good. Neither these are two not good teams getting credit for being good. I'm so sick of both of these teams. Clemson not good. They got whooped by Notre Dame. Notre Dame is like 5-5, and don't even play 5 good teams. So you lose the regulars. But somehow next season you'll see them as one of the top 6 teams in college football. It's a waste of everybody's time.
Speaking of wasting everybody's time, let's get to the Big 12. Kansas came back and won. They are going bowling. Shout out to Kansas.
So they happy about that.
They
They're
are,
happy about
and
that.
well, I mean, it sucks that their best player, when they were undefeated, got hurt against TCU when they were winning. They were beating TCU, and then he had severe separation of his shoulder, which is going to keep him out for probably the rest of the year. And that was pretty much the end of their season. They needed him to win.
They happy about them 6 wins though. They hadn't had 6 wins in a very long time apparently.
Hey man, they hired Les Miles, and Les Miles was out there tripping, eating grass, and if you take eating grass and take the GR off, doing that too.
All right, next. TCU
Texas
still
Well,
undefeated.
hold on. Texas beats Missouri 34-27. I mean, Kansas State. Texas
Missouri.
beats Kansas State 34-27.
upset
Bijan.
that I called.
This is
And
this
Bijan is good, yo.
sad.
It's good.
Who would have thought that Texas beating Kansas State would be an upset? Never would have thought.
Me. I said it.
I'm just saying in the whole scheme of college football.
Oh, that
what-
is a cheap way to win. I didn't see that the Commanders did that. He ran down there, ran into the ref, and then while he was running to the ref, caught the ball. Hey, Goodell, give us that one back. But yeah, Bijan is gonna be good. Texas with a good upset. I did
Bijan,
definitely call
man.
this game.
Bijan's he's a first round draft pick, probably top 15.
Yeah.
Man, he's for
Yeah.
real. And then of course TCU stays undefeated. They have to come from behind again to win 34-24. This is why nobody respects y'all, because y'all keep having to
Yeah.
come from behind against all
They
these
definitely
other
fought
teams.
that one. That was not an easy game for them at all.
They probably against any other team would have lost, and it was at home. So it was a lot going on in college football. A lot changed and a lot stayed the same. Because of the playoff, even though you lose, it's not over. Right now, my 4 in are probably gonna be. Let's go back. My 4
Georgia.
in is Georgia, Ohio State, Tennessee, I guess Tennessee and Michigan. I mean, right now that'd be my college football playoff 4. It'll change by the end of the year, of course.
Yeah. I mean, none of that matters because you're gonna have SEC championship and Big Ten championship.
So, so
So
if you want to go
who do you
past
think?
that, you say
Yeah,
after
who do you
all
think
of that?
makes it? Yeah, who makes it?
Georgia, Ohio State, Tennessee,
Oregon. Nope.
TCU.
USC.
TCU. I don't see a team beating TCU. I don't have a lot of courage that
But
they can beat every team.
I think that USC is probably going to win out. I think USC is going to win out.
they got to beat Oregon.
And then you're gonna, and by the time that they beat Oregon and they beat Notre Dame, they'll pass TCU.
Not with one loss. I think it'd be difficult to allow a Big 12 team with 0 losses out of the college football playoff if there's
Who is
other teams with
TCU
one
played?
loss. Oklahoma State, Kansas when they were undefeated. Who else did they play? They played a not a bad schedule, just not a great schedule.
If USC wins, they're gonna be, and the only team they'll lose to is gonna be Utah. And Utah's gonna look like a very good win.
They beat Oklahoma,
I mean,
Kansas, Oklahoma State, Kentucky, Kansas State. At the time, all 4 of those teams were ranked when they played them.
Y'all,
Oklahoma State was number 8.
and now they finna be unranked.
But they play Texas next week, though, so we'll see. At Texas. If you beat Texas at Texas, because Texas is going to be ranked in the top 20, more than likely. They're 24 now. The 21
Pelicans
team lost.
again. Solid.
So, with that being said, though, ladies and gentlemen, we have come to the end of Monday Night Raw with the Splashcast. We've covered a myriad of topics. I feel Kyrie's getting bullied by the media. I also feel that Jeff Saturday is unfit to be an NFL head coach, and yet he's an head coach. And we talked about Georgia.
Gonna be one next year too.
We talked about Georgia being number 1 and asserting their dominance and telling everybody to relax on Alabama losing 2 games by 4 points total. And this is the end of the dynasty and all of that. Y'all better put some respect on their name because they're going to come back next year and try to beat you by 1,000. And Nick, don't forget. So, with that being said, Norwood, if we didn't forget anything, take us out.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for another fantastic episode. They did name the other finalists, and I did want to let y'all know that Mike Harris was also a Rookie of the Year finalist, just like we told you. We've had another fantastic episode 77, Oath and Fidelity. There is a joke there. Number one. More black baseball.
Wait,
Of the utmost
you didn't do
importance.
the
We're gonna get there. We want to shout out my boy Dusty once again for 5,000 games and finally getting himself a trophy and a ring as a World Series champion. Before I go to number 2, Reggie, can we show these people where they can find us?
You can find us here at Oath Infidel. No,
No.
I'm playing.
Reggie is a jackass, not me. I actually I had a little wine today instead of the Crown. That's the reason Oath and Fidelity works. But this is, in fact, the Instagram. Please always remember to follow at the Splashcast. You can click on the link trigger and show them all the different links. All right, number 1, you can find us on YouTube. You can find us on Apple Podcasts at the Splashcast, Spotify at the Splashcast, Google Podcasts at the Splashcast, Instagram at the Splashcast. Twitter gets a little tricky here. It's at _ the Splashcast. That is where we live tweet games, our opinions at any moment. Also follow our own individual Twitters. Mine is Ludacris and Reggie, yours is
At Atlanta Raised.
Okay, fantastic. Also, we have Twitch where you can watch all of the live streams, including this very one right here. You click on that button, it will show you us in real time. Under that is the TikTok, also at the Splashcast. Next, you can see the playlist for last week, episode 76, the Phil Clutch. We also gave you the bonus Homecoming Hangover playlist. Below that is the Twitter at the Splashcast. If you go below that, that is the actual playlist home, and you can see all of the different playlists we've had from every episode.
I think that's
And
it.
if you
Oh, no,
continue
never mind.
under that, there we go. There's the Facebook fan page, so you can like, follow,
It is
support, and
actually a
tell other people.
Facebook profile now. It is not just a fan page. You can get status updates. You can get everything. They updated us. They said we post too much for it to
We
be
ain't
a fan
paying for that
page.
blue check though, Elon. Let me tell you that right now. That's not in the budget. We're not paying $20 for you to confirm that it's us. And then finally, the anchor for all of the rest of you podcasters out there. Now that we've told you about More Black Baseball, we've shown you where you can find us. Always remember,
the
this
schedule.
is Monday Night Raw. Yes.
My bad.
That means Tuesday, tomorrow, the ATL edition will be out. Wednesday, the Splash Cash 24 pack will be out. And it has some Drake on it. Also has some Coco Jones. We covered a lot of bases on this one. Thursday, for anybody who is not here live, you can catch us on the Around the League episode on all your DSPs. And of course, Saturdays, we'll do what we do absolutely best. And we will bet football games again. And hopefully this time will be a little bit better than last time. And I don't know if y'all watching this Ravens game, but they are, for a team that won a game, they did not look very happy.
Yeah, they don't look like they played really well. Something's wrong. It's something wrong with the
Yeah.
offense. Something wrong with the
Marcus Peters is pissed and Lamar Jackson's pissed. With that said, number two, more Black Cowboys and more Black Cowgirls. Number 3, and the reason that we are all truly here, the historically Black college university that you graduated from, your cousin graduated from, your mother graduated from, one of your best friends graduated from. Send some money over there. The historically Black college university in your neighborhood, the one that you live at, the one that you go to for events, the one that you go to for homecoming. If you're not going to an historically Black college university, find one to go to. It's like a church home. Find a place to feed your soul. And then once you find that place, send some money over there. And then finally, the greatest learning institution in all the land, the one that decided to give me and Reggie 2 degrees or 1 degree individually. Our powers combined. The Hampton University, founded in 1868. Find it in your heart to donate $18.68 on behalf of the Splashcast. Please continue to support and uplift historically Black colleges and universities. Thank you. We've had another fantastic episode. This episode 77, Oath and Fidelity. Now that we've covered all of that, it's only one thing for me and Reggie to do now besides him making that terrible smirk. Hang out.
Hang
You
out.
are evil. Oh, you're that.
Hang
Yo,
out.
We're going to be sitting. We're going to buy some of these and send them to people who we don't like.
Oath. No, I'm gonna send the people I
And
like, man. I
Fidelity.
told you I support Black business, support Melon Man. Oath and Fidelity. Oath